Stephen Larsen. I mean, what do you say about Stephen Larsen?
Brunson.
There he is. Has anybody heard him do like his Monday morning scream, shout, cheer? Does anybody wish he didn't do that? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So Stephen, I told this to the last group. Stephen Larsen, and I'll let him say some of his stories. He is a go-getter. I mean, he's a guy who's hungry, who sacrificed a lot of things for his family in order to achieve his goals. And he's been there. What I really love about Stephen is that he is, I mean, literally, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, he was literally in your seat. I mean, it's to see the level of how he's escalated his life and changed things for his family is tremendous. And you're in for a real treat. Last week, again, all the coaches are amazing. Last week, he just, he blew people away. And so I'm super excited to have him. He is the original funnel hacker. Everybody, let's stand up, put your hands together for Mr. Stephen Larsen. Good, buddy.
Hey, thanks, sir. Well, thank you. All right, how's dinner?
Good.
What's that? Woo! I will definitely pop the mic, just letting you know. All right. Guys, I'm really excited to be here, and okay, I just gotta go to this first thing here, okay? 2 years ago, right, so the event last week is in San Diego, right? 2 years ago, I showed up to Funnel Hacking Live 2016, completely broke. I literally traded funnels to get hotel nights, funnels for plane tickets, funnels for event tickets. And that's how I got there. And it's crazy. It was funny because I walked into the hotel room last week and I opened up the hotel room and it was this corner room with windows on one side and windows on the other, and I walk up and I can see the place where I rented a bike because what little money we had, I didn't want to spend that on a taxi. So I rented a street bike, one of those city bikes in San Diego, and put my luggage around the shoulder and was like biking around the bay, all the way around the outside, all the way to where Funnel Hacking Live was. And then would go back and forth like that over and over and over. And it's crazy, everything that's happened in the last little bit. I think the reason why, I yell, okay? I'm gonna yell, I'm gonna go like all over the place. So one lady last week asked me if there's an app for the sound effects I make. That would be cool. That's probably something that's in the works, maybe. Okay, but part of the passion comes from me being a product of this product. Okay, completely changed my life. Okay, thank you. The first year of marriage, we made 18 grand, and it was mostly loans. I was providing. Right? And now there's more coming, and like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, holy crap. We're going to eat. This is really cool. We're going to pay for the bills. Anyway, so I hope they understand. I want to walk through a little bit of Secrets Masterclass and why it was created and why it was put together. From that Funnel Hacking Live, I ended up going and I got 5 job offers to work at ClickFunnels. I was like, this is weird. I never considered working there. I was just fanatic. I was building these funnels like crazy for all these other companies. I was in the middle of college getting in fights with my marketing teachers because I was telling them they're doing it wrong. Because, no, Russell Brunson said this, and I'd get in these fights with them. I was that guy. And proudly. And when I got to Funnel Hacking Live, I had this little agency and I was building these funnels and the success was coming. I was excited, but I was just proving that it worked. I wasn't really making any money in it yet, right? I was trying to make my story. And started making some cash coming in and went to Funnel Hacking Live and I walk up and Mark Bangerter's sitting in the back table over there and I walk up and I was like, Stephen Larsen checking in? And he goes, are you that kid pulling off that Star Wars ninja crap on our software? That's what he asked me. I was like, yes, I don't know, am I? And he goes, you're that weirdo. I was like, cool. And he's like, will you work here? I was like, boom, boom, boom. I got 5 job offers. And then the last night, I didn't barter enough hotel nights with the funnels I was building for people to get there. And so I stayed up the whole night in the lobby and applied for for ClickFunnels. I was like, shoot, let's do this. 2 days later, I was sitting in front of Russell, which is crazy. I was like, I almost put posters of you up in my room. I'm not going to tell you that, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you're the freaking man, dude. You've changed my life, you know? And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was sitting in front of him getting interviewed. 2 hours later, got the job offer. Brent called, and I pretty much lost my voice, which is hard to, ever fathom. And I was like, oh my gosh, called my wife. This is crazy. I was like, the course of our life just changed. And I knew it had. And 2 days later, I graduated from college. 2 days later, after that, I was sitting next to Russell. I was like, oh my gosh, that's nuts. And I want to share with you where all of this came from, because this didn't exist when I was building funnels for the first time, or the first successful ones ever put together. None of this existed. And so this specifically was created to fill a gap that we started seeing in the community, okay? What we don't want is for you guys to have to become like funnel nerds like myself, in order to pull this stuff off. We want you to go be nerds in your own industry, your own business, the thing that you're doing. That's why the pathway exists, okay? So I want to walk through and just share with you real quick some of these things. Russell just messaged me, actually. He wanted me to send something to you guys real quick here. This is breaking news. Russell has nothing to do. He wanted me to tell you guys that. Okay, I started taking screenshots of his calendar as I sat next to him. This was ridiculous. I was like, that's crazy. Holy crap. Okay, some of us just have we're excited. I did one amazing event in the last half a year. Are you kidding? That's nuts, right? This was cracking me up. That year hadn't even started yet. It was like, oh my gosh, right? This last one was nuts. And he goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. He walks the walk and talks the talk. And it's really fun to learn from him. What we started realizing, though, was that there was this gap that started happening, where he would go and he'd be coaching the inner circle, and he'd be saying the same things over and over again. And I was sitting that far away from him, right? And I'd be like, oh man, this is so cool. I'm listening to the coach's people. This is crazy. And I was had a little Trello board up, and I'd write down all these notes. Oh, this is awesome. Oh my gosh. Just freak out. Mental ecstasy, right? And I would go and write down all this stuff, And after about 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 7 months, I was like, dude, you're saying the same thing over and over and over and over. And he's like, I know, isn't that crazy? It's and we started thinking through, what if we were to put together this intermediate thing, this interim thing, where before you get to what Russell's level is, right? Do you think Michael Jordan wants to teach people just how to do free throws all day? Right? No, for him, that's boring, right? Russell's he's way up there, okay? And so we started putting together this thing. We started crafting and lacing together. I had the task of going through 12 years of course content and sales videos that he had ever created ever, and started reverse figuring out okay, in order to know this, you actually have to do this whole thing first. Oh, how do we teach that? Okay, oh my gosh, and before that, next we have to do this. And started reverse going back and back and forth. And it took 6 months. And it was a deep dive project that I did. And we created a fat event. Who went to one of the original fat events? Yeah, my people, what's up? This is awesome. Okay, a few guys came to the fat event, and what it was an event where we walked people through this entire process in 3 days. They didn't sleep, and everyone was hopped up on goofballs and caffeine, and it was awesome. They got their funnels out the door. But it was really time intensive, right? And so we went and we started putting that together. We mapped out this course, Secrets Masterclass, right? And we started lacing together all the different stuff. We'd go back and forth and debate which concept needs to come before that concept. How can I apply this as quickly as possible with the smallest amount of time spent on just understanding, right? We don't want you to become these crazy marketing people unless you want to be, okay? And so we started putting these things together, and it was huge. It was huge. I say with it, it's huge. Like that guy. Huge with the gut, huge, okay? It was huge. How many of you guys log into Secrets Masterclass a little bit stressed out? That's a lot of hands, right? And we know that. So, right, there's just me just scrolling through all the stuff. I think it's 200 hours of stuff. 200. Are you kidding? I have to go through that to get my business off the ground? Oh my gosh, right? And it was super stressful for people. And so what we did, I want you to think of Secrets Masterclass like a library, okay? It's like a library, okay? It's like a library. So when we go back, don't think Some person was like, I took like 3 weeks off of my entire life to go through all this stuff. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh man, like we're doing this wrong, right? So we need to rethink the way you look at Secrets Masterclass. Know that the original way that was sold was these modules to go one by one by one the whole way through. That's not how we're asking you to go through it. Okay, the pathway that we've created for you or for this course helps you go just step by step. You know what? From these like 2 modules, let's take this video out here and this video here. Just watch that, do that, you're done. Trello card, done, right? And so think of it more like a library as we move forward on this. This is nothing new to you guys, right? But competence equals confidence. We need to be successful funnel builders, not meaning if you don't want to be the guy building all the funnels, awesome, but you need to have an understanding of what's going on behind it. And so anyways, we're going to start walking through that, and that's really what the Secrets Masterclass is meant to do. There's 2 ways to approach it. Consume everything, the pro, you're going to learn a ton, right? You can learn like crazy. I mean, there's nothing like that. It's insane, right? How many of you guys have gone through every video? Whoa, all right, yeah, wow, holy crap. It's more than the last group. Congratulations. You're all loved, previous group. Right, the con is that it just takes forever. The second way, though, is like we were saying before, is follow the pathway with an occasional detour. If there's some topic you're absolutely loving, grab more of live, books from that section. Okay, it's all organized in there for you. Okay, this is very Mr. Miyagi-ish. A few things. I gave Russell a Mr. Miyagi doll. I don't know if you guys saw it on Instagram. He's my Mr. Miyagi. I don't like what he says. I have to do sometimes, but when I do it, money comes in, so I just do it, right? And anyway, so the goal of Secrets Masterclass, you have to understand, there's really 2 things that it helps you get done. I just need you to know this from a top level, and I want to tell you, and a little later, just remember I'm doing this. I'm going to tell you a little later why. Number 1, you have to understand that the only way truly to bring in just a whole bunch of customers really fast, to actually bring them in, is to have an amazing sales message. We just learned from Julie, right? You don't even have to have the thing built. That's how I launched my stuff. It's scary and it's totally backwards, but it's actually super awesome, a cool way to do it. And we'll talk why in a second. Second thing is you gotta understand the only way to keep the people once they're in your thing is to have an amazing offer that fulfills, obviously. That's what it teaches. Any Peter Drucker fans? Yeah, what's up? Right, I love this quote. Right, he said, the business enterprise has 2 and only 2 basic functions. Number 1, right, is marketing, and number 2 is innovation. That's it. Yesterday was an amazing day for me. I wrote down all my goals, figured out where I wanted to go. I was like, I want to put this next funnel 2 Comma Club in this amount of time. Boom. And I was like, what do I got to do in this amount of time? Okay, in order to do that, what in this amount of time? Usually entrepreneurs are terrible planners, so I've never done this. Go figure, right? And I go back and I was like, oh my gosh, half the things I'm doing today have nothing to do with that goal, right? Like, I got to outsource that. This has nothing to do with marketing innovation, right? Get that other junk off your plate. Anything else besides marketing innovation is a cost on the business. For us to move forward and for us to move forward more on Secrets Masterclass stuff, we just got to get some definition in place here. What's the difference between marketing and sales? What's that?
Marketing is getting people to your door, and sales is people after they've entered your door.
Oh my gosh, A+. Okay, he said, sales is what happens face to face, right? I was a door-to-door salesman for quite some time, which was awesome. Absolutely loved it. That was sales. Logical reasons you should buy now. Marketing is how you get them to your face, okay? And the better you are at marketing, the less amazing of a closer you have to be, okay? And the less pressured they feel also. It's awesome balance between this. So, another quote here, okay? There's no relationship between being good and getting paid. That sucks, doesn't it? It does. I was door-to-door sales guy. That was awesome. Better I got, more I got paid, right? But I was a pool cleaner for a lot of the Denver Broncos. I was a pool boy. I know, right? And I was in there like doing pool chemicals and all this stuff, super cool. And I was like, I'm gonna get super good at this stuff. Funny enough, the better I got, the less time I put on the clock and I got paid less, right? And I was like, this sucks. Why didn't anybody tell me that? I was a tire buster at Discount Tire. I did a lot of labor jobs. I worked at a plastic factory. I did a bunch of stuff. Every time I got good, I got paid less. Right? What's that? Except now, because I'm a marketer. However, there's a huge relationship between being good at marketing and getting paid. Okay, the better you are at getting people to you, and we're going to find more of this. as we go through here, because this is really the essence of marketing itself, and why Secrets Masterclass is such a pinnacle for you, what you're going through, okay? So number one, what it does is it turns you into a marketer, okay? The act of marketing, at the core of it, is just changing beliefs. That's it. You're just changing beliefs. Selling is just telling them why they should act right now. That's it. Does that make sense? I just want to get that clear because we're going to talk about marketing and all this stuff. Like, people are like, yeah, I'm a marketer. I do Facebook ads. I'm like, cool. That's not marketing, though. Okay, that's a traffic generation strategy. Anyway, sorry, some semantics here, all right? All right. Anyway, the second thing that Secrets Masterclass does for you guys is it's going to give a 2 Comma Club structure to your idea. Yeah. Okay. 1 Comma Club idea. Is it surprising that it has to be structured a little differently for a 2 Comma Club idea? Same idea, different development. So you're going to go work with Julie. Julie's going to come in. She's going to say, hey, let's get you a 1 Comma Club. Let's have the market prove with their wallets that you have a good idea. 1 comma, right? Boom. Oh, awesome. Cool. Now that you have that set up, now we can go start setting up, right, the business side, right, with James. We're going to go set up the actual idea in a 2 Comma Club setting, right, with Secrets Masterclass. Does that make sense? I just want you to know the relationship between the courses and the coaches and why they're set up the way they are. Okay? Prove out the idea with Julie. There was a guy that I was building a bunch of funnels for, and this has happened multiple times. It always goes this way. You build the funnel. Day number 1, they're like thrilled. Oh my gosh, look at all the sales coming in. This is crazy. You're a magician. I know. Yeah, you don't even know what I know. Right? Day 2, they call in, they're like, this is crazy. Oh my gosh, this is really cool. Oh man. Day 3, what do they say? Yeah, turn it off. You're going to bankrupt us. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? What? I had never, ever considered that relationship until that experience that I had. Right? What we don't want you to do is go build an amazing funnel that the business can't handle. Right? Multiple times, right? I can't say specific names, you guys all know them, but like Russell and I, right? My first thing I was doing with him when I sat next to him was I would start building funnels for his clients, his personal ones. And so I'd go work with all these people, big people, right? And then we'd go build the funnel, and then they'd be like, we don't have the infrastructure to handle this. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like turn it off. We're like, oh, never in my mind would I ever consider wanting less sales, right? Who are you? But it's a real problem. And so you figure out the issue, or so you figure out the value that the market says, yes, I will pay for that with Julie. And you build a 2 Comma Club structure in your company and in your marketing arm, the funnel, at the same time. Does that make sense? That's how what? That's sweet, isn't it? Right? It's so cool. And get real hyper. We're just barely starting, guys, all right? This is the freaking intro. I was telling Russell, I hope he has stage insurance. My goal is one day to crack a stage. Okay, but that makes sense though? So that's why this is so important, what you're gonna go through. You're gonna take the idea and do things to it to make it a 2 Comma Club worthy idea. Okay, and at the same time, set up the things that James is helping you set up to go over here and set up the actual 2 Comma Club structure in the business and the systems and the organization. I'm going through that right now in my personal stuff, right? Built this sweet funnel. I was like, look at all these sales. And then it's just like James was talking about, I shouldn't sell that much more. Like, I can't handle it anymore. Like, I got to go build some systems over here. So I buy back my time, right? So that's what we want to do for you guys and with you guys. And anyway, I hope that's the pre-frame of the relationships. All right, what we're going to do here is, here's the success path, right? The pathway for Secrets Masterclass and what you'll be doing in my program. One of the things that you guys got to understand is that it's a pinnacle thing inside of all of your funnels to start communicating more. Okay, we got to help you guys understand more about publishing and why it matters. Right, back at Funnel Hacking Live. Funnel Hacking Live, I worked my tail off to get there, right? We were so freaking poor, right? I was in the Army just to make ends meet. I was going through all this stuff. I mean, it was a bunch of fun, but it was like mayhem internally, right? Just trying to keep it together. No, babe, we got it. I'm cool, right? And I was trying to keep it together, and I get to Funnel Hacking Live, and I remember I'm riding my bike around the bay over to Funnel Hacking Live 2016, and I remember this thought. I said, I will do whatever this man tells me to do. I have worked my butt off for years, right? I think I counted 17 tries before I actually had a funnel that made a bunch of money. 17, right? You know what that does to your psyche internally? That's crazy. And everyone around you, anyway, that's part of why we want you to be in this network here so you can stay strong with each other, okay? But I remember biking up, and I said to myself, I will do whatever this man tells me to do, except publish. I will not be a podcaster. That was my active thought. I will not. And the first day he gets up and he says, all of you start publishing a lot. And I was like, crap, are you serious? Right? 1 week later, I'm sitting next to him, and what's he doing? He's on a video and he's saying, what's up, guys, it's Russell. And then he's over on his podcast, what's up, guys, it's Russell. Then he's over on his blog, what's up, guys, it's Russell, right? And he keeps doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it every freaking day, every new ism, every new idea. And I remember after about 2 months, I was like, there is something to this, right? What am I missing? And why is this? So what I want to show you real quick is this is a module that will be coming very soon inside Secrets Masterclass. But I want to share with you guys my strategies of how I launched my 2 podcasts, okay? My podcasts, anyway, I just want to share with you, okay, I started with no followers. It's not like I didn't have an email, it's not like I don't have an email. There's like no list, right? Nobody's following me at all. Right, straight from scratch. That show's Sales Funnel Right is only like a year and a half old. The other one's like 8 months old, something like that, right? And the shows now, they're crossing over 160,000 downloads. What? Okay, I want to share with you how. Okay, just real briefly. The masterclass will go really deep into it though, and how to actually set this stuff up. There's multiple ways to do it. I know Peng Jun's in the audience. He is an amazing content generating machine. Absolutely incredible. I want to share with you guys how I did it from a marketer's perspective and how I launched it out there, okay? This has become my secret weapon to stay in momentum personally, okay? And a huge benefit. It's been nuts. It's rooted me. It's one of the reasons things have happened so quickly. I know that. Looking backwards, like, man, it's only 2 years ago. Like, we could barely afford food, you know? That's one of the reasons why everything's gone so well, okay? Anyway, just to show you that it's been working, I have tons of students, lots of guys in the Secrets Masterclass from old. Secrets Masterclass was launched like a year and a half ago, and right, 600 students came in, and I was the only coach for it. I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of people, right? And we brought a lot of them through this process, and there are like a lot of them in the top 25 after just a few weeks. So I just want to share with you guys the strategy real quick so you guys know how I've done this. If you think, there's a rule I follow called, this is how I launched Sales Funnel Radio, just so you guys know. If I think about, I call this reaching 2 up. At all times, I reach 2 up. If you think about how much influence I have at the very beginning, how many of you guys have like no following? Yeah, awesome, cool, totally fine, right? But think about it. You got no following. Now let's compare Warren Buffett. He says something and the whole market sways, right? The whole thing. That's a lot of influence. If I'm starting there, I got no influence. No one's following me at that time. But then there's somebody who has just a little more influence than I do. Someone with a little bit more, right? C-level influencers. And someone with a little more after that, right? And then a little more after that. Let's say it's Russell Brunson, right? He's got quite a lot of influence, right? Let's keep going up. Oh man, we got Tony Robbins, right? He's got a lot of influence. He speaks, things sway, behavior shift. Let's keep it, the Pope, right? He's got a lot of sway, right? Who's at the very top? President. Batman. To avoid all arguments that would happen. Batman, clearly. Okay, and what I started doing is I started saying, okay, let's reach two tiers up. Not directly who's just above me, but like another one above them. Would you come get on my show? I was so shy as a kid. I got the nicest kid award in high school. That's not like one of those things to really be proud of sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, what the heck? I was a rage machine on the inside. No one heard me speak though, super shy. So they were none the wiser. Super shy, super. I would never have done this, right? Steve Larsen was born through podcasting. Does that make sense? It's the opportunity you guys have to do this. I'm not telling you have to be podcasters. You go do blog, you go do whatever. Just active publishing, that's all I'm talking about. Same strategies we used for people who are doing blogs, people who are doing Facebook Lives on a daily basis, people who right? Anytime you guys know Anthony DiClemente? Right, you guys know Biohacking Secrets, this thing, have you seen that? We always told a new person, your only role, we'll go build the funnel, your role is to Facebook Live every day for the rest of your life, right? Because of what it did. to them, their audience, who they became in front of their audience is amazing, okay? So I started getting them in, and this is how I launched that show. I was so scared to talk. I just went and actually had people, episode 1 is some other guy. I'm not even talking, right? Episode 2, I'm like, hey, you guys listen to this? Oh my gosh, hey, Sales Funnel Radio, woo. The content's great, the delivery sucks, like I know it does, okay? And that's how I launched it. Okay, I let others do the talking for me. And if you're feeling that way about your industry and what it is that you're selling, you're putting out there, know that that's a very great way to do it, right? That's like what John Lee Dumas does, interviews, right? Okay, but I didn't want to be known just as the interview guy, so I started slowly lacing in my own episodes. Oh, here's something I learned, here's something I learned, here's something I learned. And around episode 30, I found my voice. Something we can't teach you, we can only put you on a path to learn it. I found my voice. Around episode 40, it was the craziest thing. I walked into Russell's office, sat at my desk, and I was like, dude, I just listened to the first few episodes of my podcast again. It sucks. Oh my gosh. And I go, I think I'm gonna delete it. And you guys know Russell, he's not super, in your face or anything like that. But he goes, no, super fast. I was like, whoa, oh my gosh. And he goes, dude, that's how they knew you were human once. Fascinating, isn't it? Don't wait to become this expert to start publishing. The power in all of this comes when you become the expert in front of the audience. Okay? Super vulnerability. And it's funny, it feels like a scaring thing to everybody. Oh, I'm gonna be vulnerable. It is a superpower. Everything that your insecurities are the most amazing lead gen things ever inside of publishing. List them out, use them, right? Like if I was you guys, I'd be like, get on your shows or whatever. Man, I was listening to this guy. He had the most gigantic eyeballs I've ever seen in my life. And he just was jumping around all over the stage. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. Right? And just go through it, whatever. I don't care. This is a guy he would walk up all the time. What's up, Steve? And he had huge teeth. Like, nothing, brochacho. How you doing? Anyway. Okay, what I want you to know is, so this is how I launched the second show. I wrote a sideways webinar. And what I did was I had to forethink. I was like, man, these guys are gonna go, I want them to buy, I'm gonna act like they're gonna buy, so how am I going to pre-sell them without a close yet? So episode number 1, I told my origin story. Episode number 2, I told the story associated with secret number 1, and so forth. Episode number 5, I dropped a call to action to a freebie, right? That's a great strategy to do with what Julie's talking about, right? Drop to the freebie. It's like crazy, insatiably massive value stuff that they would have paid for, okay? So all I do is, and this is the strategy that we've been teaching that has been working super well, and you guys are all going to learn as well. But that's how I stack them together now. So it's the combo of those two and the rollout strategies. I wish I launched Sales Funnel Radio the way I launched the other one. So bad. Oh my gosh, that'd been so helpful.
What's calling my shot?
Meaning I say I haven't reached where I'm going yet. Come with me. He asks, what's calling my shot? I say, come with me. I haven't reached the peak yet. But I will tell you all my successes and mishaps so that you're able to come in. How many of you guys listen to Sales Funnel Radio just to tickle my pride? Nice, right? The latest intro on there, right? It says, now I've left the job and I'm gonna make my $1 million business. Come follow me. It's not there yet. But people are like, yeah, they're tuning in because that's my hook. Like, what? This kid's psycho. It's nuts. Listen to this guy yell on my podcast. What? Right? And I'm calling the shot and they're following along the way. You guys understand that scaling requires more communication on your end. Like I said before, any other people who've been in the service, military? Awesome, appreciate that, yeah. Right, and you guys know, one of the easiest ways to jack up, yeah, right, Memorial Day just happened, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Fastest way to mess up the other guy is just to get him to stop communicating, right? If no one hears you speak, they have no idea you exist. They don't. There was a guy who was one of my first mentors. He was the guy that invented stuffed crust pizza. And he was amazing. He was the CMO of Denny's and also Pizza Hut. And he went and he told me, I would sit and I'd chat with him a lot. And we'd sit and he told me one day, he goes, Stephen, you know you're feeling awkward right now about the way you're marketing. I was like, yeah. I'm just yelling all the time. I mean, literally, but then I feel like I'm just really in people's faces. He's like, that's the point when they barely even know you're existing. Like, you're gonna get sick of your message way before your audience will. Just expect that, okay? Keep rinsing, repeating the same thing. But in order for you to scale the funnel you're going for, I don't care what funnel you're building, webinar or not, okay? It requires more communication on your side to scale, okay? You document the journey on the way. Perry Belcher calls it the parallel communication funnel, which is like, ugh, it's a terrible name, but anyway, right? But every funnel you have, you're communicating along the way, documenting the journey, and that's how I was able to launch the stuff that way. So we're gonna go share with you guys more of that stuff. Any Ryan Holiday fans in here? Yeah, right? I love what he talks about. He didn't specifically say this, but this is what I learned from it. I was like, this is so cool. Whoever controls industry content controls industry beliefs. If I want to change and shape an industry, if I want people to come from the red ocean over the blue ocean, all I got to do is just change the content they're consuming, because that changes the beliefs, that changes the stories in their head, okay? I went through and I created this kind of cool publishing funnel and put it together, and we'll teach you guys this as well. Works super well. It was a great, very easy lead gen. Everything's already pre-built for you guys. You'll just go to the Trello card and download it. It's already in there for you. But like, I just grabbed all the stats recently. 74% opt-in rate. What? That's crazy. 1,600 people I didn't have to pay for to grab. And those are the people I launched to. That's why my stuff exploded out the gate. So if you're just starting out, it's another great way to do this. I'm just trying to share you the other ways to do this. Is that helpful? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Guys, this milestone is completed. Never, right? Right? You're going to choose your publishing platform. I don't care what it is. Just plan on marrying it, okay? You're going to plan your frequency, right? The syndication, meaning you're going to go repurpose it and put it all different places. You're going to create a freebie for your audience. Write your intro, outro, call to action with bait. You know what's powerful about this? Like, how many guys buy whatever Russell puts out just because you know it's Russell? Right? Every time we launch a funnel, we'd get this slew of people who come in and they start buying and be like, I don't know what this is, I just know it's you. And they buy. What? The only reason that happens is because he constantly is communicating, right? You know his character. How many of you guys feel like you know him? That's why, okay? So we need you to do that. And so there is a strong emphasis moving forward. I'm a little bit deeper on this particular section than the rest I probably will, because I want you to understand that throughout all the steps that you do from here on out, there will be a publishing aspect to it to document the journey along the way for your audience. And you start amassing this following, right? You don't have to be a crazy, amazing speaker. It's kind of fun when you're not, and you can look back and be like, man, I sucked, you know? Anyway. We're gonna have you list out and contact 10 influencers for interviews. You create your origin story and 3 secrets of the first content pieces. Anyways, all this stuff here that I'm listing out is already in a Trello card, right? And there's an example in there for you. So for pretty much every one of them that I could, all the Trello cards, just so you know, will have in the description basically a template of how to put together each piece, right? And then a checkbox, and then right next to it, the video link in the members area. So I don't want you to get, tripped up. It's a lot of content, I know that. So anyway, so that's in there for you. Anyway, so that's the publishing piece. Yeah? Boom. All right, let's move on. Hey, what you need to know about this next piece here, these next 3 pathway steps are an asset creation period for me. That's how I treat this part, okay? We're gonna go through and I wanna show you how to collect these assets that will help you create whatever script you need, right? It doesn't matter if you're doing a product launch funnel, if you're doing a webinar funnel, if you're doing a book funnel, it doesn't matter. This is how I do it every time, okay? So we're gonna first go find the false beliefs. Where are my door-to-door salesmen at? Yeah, what's up? Scott. This guy right here helped me learn door-to-door sales. Full circle, that's really cool you're here. It's awesome, right? Okay. Do people always buy your product the first time they see it? What? Let me get to my what face. What? It's my what face slide. But I thought your product was really good. Why don't they buy? Anyone? It's not rhetorical. What's that? They don't believe in the product? Why else? They don't trust you. They don't know you. Why else? There's no established need yet. They don't like you, right? There's a lot of reasons, right?
Bad pitch.
There's bad pitch, right? You just sucked it up. That's fine, right? Right? Part of the reason why what I'm doing on each one of these, just so you know right now, I am taking the previous 675 people that have come through this before you and all of the reactions they've had to the course and putting it in the slides. Does that make sense? I'm trying to take every excuse I've ever had going through all those coaching sessions with them and put it back in to destroy your false belief so that when you go in, you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, and you just do it, okay? So when you go through, right, I need you to understand, and a lot of you guys already know this, right? You're rock stars, okay? This room's just amazing individuals in here. But one of the reasons why products don't sell so well is just because it's new, right? They don't know who you are. You guys have seen this movie, The Croods? One day, did something new, and they died, right? Anyway, I thought that was funny, right? But what's going on is every time you put a product in front of somebody, or you meet someone for the first time, or anything new ever, there is a reaction they have in their head that is involuntary. They don't know that they're doing it, but it's the reason why most sales stop right out of the gate. I have to get you past that point in your scripts, in your webinars, in the way you communicate, okay? And so, have you guys read the book Pitch Anything? Yeah. Brilliant book, right? Brilliant book. This is one of my favorite graphs ever that illustrates why I do it in the way I do, right? I know it's a little tiny, I'm sorry, right? Every time something new pops up, there's a series of red flags that happen inside of your people's heads, in your heads. So I'm doing what I am right now, right? Right? And there's these reactions that are involuntary, kind of like getting punched in the gut. Involuntary, the knee-jerk. These are knee-jerk reactions that everyone has, right? And it's things to keep them safe, right? Is this going to hurt me? Should I run, right? Oh my gosh, it's not safe, I should run. Oh my gosh, this is so boring. I'm just going to ignore this to protect my entertainment need, right? And they run away, right? This is complicated. Holy crap, what you're giving me is way too complicated. Therefore, I'm just going to oversimplify it, just kind of like ignore it as well, right? Does that make sense? Should I run? Should I eat it? Should I mate with it, right? These are all the things inside of the croc brain that happens involuntary, regardless of where they are, where you are, okay, always. What you're really pitching is the croc brain. When you get past that part of the brain, you actually will be pitching this place where logic happens. It's actually emotional. They think it's logic, okay? Yeah? You with me? Yeah. Helpful? Yeah. So false beliefs, what we're gonna do, right? The croc brain is picky and a cognitive miser whose primary instinct is survival. I'm gonna ignore everything I can. Everything. If at all possible, I will ignore you to the nth degree. I find a way to ignore you. That's a false belief. What we're gonna go do is we're going to look forward and say, when I pitch my red market, my red ocean, and I show them my product for the first time, what are going to be those knee-jerk reactions? Okay? And they come on several levels. This is where vehicle, internal, and external come from. Okay? If I'm going in, and let's say, number one, what we'll have you do is we're going to have you go choose. A lot of the things that people ask on the coaching calls, which is why we're going over this, is I decided that I would sell in wealth and relationships. It doesn't work that way. Right, you left, right? It doesn't work that way. You choose one. Just one. Right? The example I always love, what market is Gillette in? Relationships, right? Yeah, you guys are learning and studying, right? What? They're not in health? Right? Some dude comes up, he starts shaving his face, and what happens in their commercial? A woman comes up, starts peeling his face up, right? Dudes, you want the razor, or you want the woman, you use this razor. Interesting, isn't it? That'll get you relationships. Dollar Beard Club comes in and says, are you kidding me? Dudes, you want the woman, don't shave the beard. Put this in your beard instead, right? Different vehicle to get the outcome they want, but you can't pitch two. So while your actual offer, the product itself, doesn't need to fit in one of those things, the sales message must fit in one of those things. And you can craft it, you can mold it, you can put it in different places you want, but just choose one of the three. And then all we're doing is we're finding the red oceans that already exist, who already has a vehicle, already has an offer, promising one of those outcomes. Who already has that? And what sales message are they using to deliver it? When you know what that is, man, that's all funnel hacking is. That's all funnel hacking is. Like, it's not so much about what's the pages, what's the color of the button. I'm going to change it from green to orange. Okay, sure, that might, very small incremental difference. Funnel hacking, though, at the core is understanding the current offer and belief people are selling and getting money in exchange for. Okay? So for false beliefs, then, if I'm going to go and I'm going to tell this red ocean, that vehicle sucks. Get out and come over here with me. There's going to be one of those knee-jerk reactions. First, about the vehicle. I don't know if that's going to work. Right? I'm super scared. Tesla's like the auto drive thing. That freaks me out. I'm never going to get in one of those things, right? That is a false belief, right, about literally a vehicle, right? Right? Like, I'm not getting in that. Are you kidding me? We're going to drive 85 miles an hour looking backwards? That's nuts, right? False belief, and there's no sales story that's going to break that belief for me. I'm never going to do it. I'm not in that market, right? But that's what's going to happen for people when you're just pitching the red ocean. You're taking one step away. There's a guy who came up at the FAT event. I don't remember his name. I remember his face. He came up and he ran up to the side. It was during a break. And he ran up and he goes, hey, I got this sweet offer. Do you think it's a good idea? And I was like, what red ocean are you coming out of? He's like, I don't know. I was like, then that's the scariest crap I've ever heard of. Right? It's total guessing. That's not what you're doing. It's just this super secure stuff. That's why I like the funnel game so much. It's very secure. If you go figure out how people are already buying in order to get the thing they want, the offer they're already consuming, the belief they're already consuming, because they consume the belief. All we're going to do is we're going to change the consumption. And we're going to go from red ocean, take one step out to a blue ocean. But the first reaction they will have is vehicle-based. I don't know if that's real. If I can get you past vehicle, though, you know what? That Tesla thing might actually work. Interesting. I graduate my customer to the next one. They're in this order for a reason. Typically, what happens next is there is an internal knee-jerk that happens. And it has to do with their own insecurities, typically, internal insecurities. That's how I always remember that. Okay, I'm not good enough. That's probably actually more like where it is, right? I don't trust that thing, right? I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. There's no way I'll be able to do that. I don't have the mental capacity to pull off. It's usually insecurities about the individual, right? And their own insecurities. And so if you can list out, okay, I know the vehicle-based objections. Oh, they believed that. Cool. Now it's time to come in and help. Okay, internally, what are their internal insecurities and false beliefs? It takes internally to do this. Now, if they can get them to believe that, I go and graduate to the next one, which is external, right? And this is them going, oh my gosh. This is all about the excuses. It's usually about things that are away from them. I will or will not be successful with this vehicle because of time, because of money, because of resources, because my spouse won't support me, because I work a 9 to 5, because I don't understand ClickFunnels yet, right? That is an external-based false belief. Is this helpful? Yes. Clarifying a lot? Yes. That's good. I hope so. And so what I've been doing is, for the last while, taking all the things I'm hearing from you going through Secrets Masterclass, and I've been categorizing your beliefs and helping you understand where the false ones are when you're starting to go through it. That's literally what created this entire presentation, okay? I'm just reacting to the market, okay? That's it. And we're going to teach you how to do that. This game is more about being a good detective than it is about being this imaginary person. These incredible ideas out from the ether. That doesn't really happen that often. All right. So if you can't find their false beliefs, what we'll have you start doing is just start listing objections, right? And if you're selling things to people, like, here you go, buy. And they're like, I can't because, I won't because of this, right? Pest control, easiest ones that I always get. Is this safe for my kids, right? I have to talk to my spouse. Is it a contract, right? I already have a company. Reaction, excuse. And I just categorize them, vehicle, internal, external. Now that creates literally the rest of my offer and my sales message. And it is market-driven, not me-driven. Yeah? We need a little sound effect. That's awesome right there. Okay. These slides, by the way, so you guys taking pictures, are going to be given to you guys. So you have them. The other thing I do is I start listing out pain points. I like to ask communities in the red ocean, so I go find Facebook groups. People who are really, really active. What's cool about that is you're asking buyers, hey, what are you struggling with this vehicle? That's all you're asking. What are you struggling with this vehicle? Oh man, this is hard. I hate this. Oh, right. And that's how you're getting a lot of good data right there. I also like to ask gurus, which is cool because they usually ask sellers. So now I know what the struggles are with selling into that red ocean. I know how they like to buy, how they don't like to buy. I know, and anyway, super helpful on that. And what you're doing really with these false beliefs is you're helping people understand. You're answering objections before they even bring them up. And we're going to lace them. Now, anyway, this is like the first cornerstone for the assets. Everything from my process starts at the here. Anyway, this milestone itself is completed. I'm going to speed up a little bit. When you've created your who, just like Julie's talking about, all this game depends. You must have an amazing, clarity on who you're selling to. Don't ask campaign friends and family if they're not the ones you're selling to, right? They don't fill your wallet. Don't ask them. Anyway. You're going to list out as many false beliefs as possible, run ask campaigns on your publishing platform. So here's a little tie-in to your publishing. I did this, and it got 400 people to respond on a waiting list before the product was ever built. It's crazy. It was amazing. They just told me basically how they want me to sell them. They didn't know that, but that's what I used it for. Okay. So that's already in the Trello system for you as well there. Yeah? Yeah. Boom. Need some vitamin C. Thank you. All right, now that we know what people are struggling with, it's time to break those false beliefs. That's what the 1 thing and 3 secrets is. That's where it comes in. See that little box there on the bottom left? Right? That's like the asset collection section. That's how I look at that. So that's where we're at. We're on number 2 right here quick. Okay, so now I'm going to come out and I'm going to say, hey, here's a blue ocean. Here's my new opportunity, whatever it is. I don't care how you sell it, whatever kind of funnel, whatever script. Here's this new opportunity. We found the vehicle, the internal, external reactions. Now I'm going to go through and I need to bridge them. I have to hold their hand and walk them across the bridge from their old vehicle to the new one. That's the dotted arrow, right? That big red dot there. All right, we're going to do that through what we call the 1 thing and the 3 secrets. Before we dive into that though, I have this awesome American flag hanging in my office. What do you guys think the retail value of this flag is? Like, how much does this go for in the store? $20, $29, $64. Do you actually know? That was really specific. Oh, cool. Right? So yeah, let's say $30, right? Let's say this flag, I would go and I'd purchase it for $30. Okay, and I've got this awesome American flag hanging in my office. And I want to illustrate something to you real quick. Watch what happens here. I want you to know that specific flag, a senator was ordered to hang the flag in my office on the White House specifically for me. Is it worth $30? What just happened to the value of that flag? It went up. Why? The story. You guys are like consuming it. I love it. Story. That's right. The story just changed it. That's crazy. I'm not going to trade it for $30 either. It's basically an heirloom now. Are you kidding me? Right? Now, does the flag already have inherent value inside of it? It already does, right? Right? Your products have inherent value inside of them. It may even just be from a raw material cost, right? That thing's probably like $1, $2 to actually manufacture and ship to America. Right? It's made in America, right? Does that make sense though? The flag, your products, whatever it is, already has inherent value. But what explodes value, what amplifies value, what increases perceived value is story. Story provides context. Dark example. Here it is, okay? Watch this though. Here's the facts of the story. A man walks down an alley. He sees another man. He shoots the man. The man dies. Watch every fact change with some context. It's a war zone. You thought it was murder before. Isn't that interesting? Fascinating, right? It's a war zone. Provided context, a man, so it's probably a soldier, sees another man, it's probably the enemy, shoots him, shot the enemy, it's no longer murder, he dies, right? Interesting. A little context shift changes all of the value of the points inside of your story, right? Story provides context. And so what we have to start doing is getting you guys to tell better story. Okay? The problem is when I say that, people are like, I've read Goodnight Moon, and that's not going to be the thing I tell. Like, I'm not Dr. Seuss here, right? Like, there's no way I'm going to do that. We have to understand is like when people walk up and they're like, Steve, would you please look at my offer? Look at this offer. Look at and I'm talking about the stack slide, right? And the way we put it all together, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the problem is that it's usually not an offer problem. Usually the things that you guys put together are actually really good. We might go in and we'll tweak the name of the product a little bit, right? To make it a little bit more sexy or put some more scarcity behind it here and there. But the actual products themselves, it's usually not an offer problem. It's usually always, right, a story problem, right? And the reason why you can't sell the thing for how much you want to is because your story sucks. There's no pre-frame, right? You're not amplifying the inherent value of that flag or product or whatever, or the offer. Does that make sense? Secrets Masterclass, one of the hallmark points of the entire thing is to teach you guys the correct formats of telling story in a way that invokes emotion. And that's what we got to get you to do. That's why this is so powerful and so important. And frankly, I get so motivated about it. Because it's through a lot of things that I was doing that I realized, oh my gosh, like, I got to get to tell a story. So every podcast episode was an Epiphany Bridge story. Every single one of them, I'd write it out and tell it. And it's like, oh man, that sucked there. I could tell that was really bad there. I was boring the crap out of myself telling that part. It was like, and I get really good at the actual storytelling piece. And so, right, we use. I guess you guys know Michael Haig. Crazy awesome, right? He's a cool guy. He has this concept he teaches called the Hero's Two Journeys. Quick backstory about this to break your related false beliefs about it is, if I don't tell it, it won't work. Will Smith was watching Michael Haig's course about this. He's like, this is so cool. This is the way to tell a story. We're not going to dive into this. The class will. But what he did is he actually reached out to Michael Haig, and together that's how they wrote the script for Hitch. They put it together that way, following that script, okay? If you get good at this, you get good at the Epiphany Bridge script, you get good at the Hero's Two Journeys, it is amazing what people do for you, right? It's the reason why so many people will buy Russell's stuff without knowing what it is yet. There's so much emotional currency stocked up in a bank. That's why, though. All right, this milestone itself is done. What you're going to do is you're going to break. Now we've collected the false beliefs. We're going to break those beliefs with story, and these are the things we're going to do that. And again, these are all inside the Trello card for you. Right? You've written the promise. You've written your headlines. You've written your origin story, just the story of how you got in your thing, and you'll learn more about this. You've organized the false beliefs: vehicle, internal, external. You've broken and rebuilt the top three, written the 3 secrets headlines, and then this is huge. Publish about the stories before you're ready to start selling. It's one of the coolest pre-frames ever. I did it, that's what I was talking about before. I went through and I actually grabbed all the same exact stories I was gonna tell in the webinar a couple months from then. I told the exact same ones on the first few episodes. There wasn't even anything for them to buy yet. It was like this mad rush. What is this? How do I buy it? There's no pitch. All right, that's what creates that. And that's how you'll get a big following quickly like that. So you just follow the pathway, it'll go through, and it'll have the examples for the big domino, examples for Epiphany Bridge story, examples for us, and you just literally copy it. You're going to take out your stuff and put it in, and I can't actually guarantee the money will come in, but it will if you just do it and disclaimer, okay? It works really well. Okay, it's really cool. All right, next piece. Next piece on here, okay, is the stack slide. How many of you guys know stack slide? Yeah, secret weapon. We're gonna watch something here real quick. Could you press play on this real quick? This is awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited our mall finally got an A&M.
Hello, credit card debt.
Guys, get down!
Okay.
That was close.
What is wrong with you?
There's a kiosk right in front of the A&M.
So?
Oh, it's worse than I thought. He's selling hand lotion.
Why is that bad?
Because the more useless the product, the more aggressive the salesman, Whitney. It's kiosk Darwinism.
Don't you think you're being overly dramatic?
That guy's really good. I don't even have hands.
That was disturbing. What do we do?
I'll go.
No!
Don't worry, I'll be back, but not before I get you that adorable spring jacket and matching blouse.
I'll walk you through it, Jeremy. What's your number?
You know my phone number? We've been friends since the 2nd grade.
It's a new phone.
You've got everyone else's number.
Okay, guys, let's just do this.
Fine.
All right, buddy. Stay sharp.
Oh, so now I'm your buddy, huh?
Stay focused.
And whatever you do, do not make eye contact. Look to the sides, Jeremy. The sides are your friend. Let your eyes linger in the wings. Okay, good job. Now, avert your eyes, Jeremy. Avert them. You have to keep moving your legs, though, Jeremy. Keep moving.
Lotion?
Jeremy?
You there? Talk to me, buddy. You still with me, buddy? Say something.
Jeremy, baby, are you okay?
It happened so fast. I couldn't say no.
I'm going in.
No, it's not worth it.
There's a 2-for-1 sale on skinny jeans.
It's totally worth it.
If I don't make it, I want you to have my 15% off loyalty card.
Don't you say that. You're gonna be fine. But I will keep this.
Yeah, okay.
You there, Adam?
Roger that, Gold Leader.
Okay, now whatever you do, avoid his gaze. Also, love the name Gold Leader. Let's make that a thing.
Copy that. Hey, I think I'm gonna make it. I see the entrance. It's so close. Excuse me, sir. Can I interest you in a free lotion sample?
Ignore him, Adam. I repeat, do not take the sample.
But it's free.
Adam, no! He's gone. He's gone.
If you buy 3 boxes, you get a free loofah.
That good? Buy 3 boxes, you get a free loofah. It's kiosk Darwinism, okay? If you don't have an offer, your only option is to compete on price. And this is where the stack slide comes in. This is where our obsession over the stack slide comes in, okay? This is the reason why we're so huge into it, okay? And first of all, before let's look at Russell's books here real quick. Okay, offers. First of all, what is an offer? I'll keep dancing.
A bundled stack of things.
Yeah, right. A whole bunch of products put together, right? But for a lot of value, right? And you tell a story and you're like, wow, that is a lot of value, right? What's fascinating about offers is when you look at what .com Secrets teaches, it says funnel hack somebody, right? Why would you ever do something that someone else didn't already blaze the path on? Fascinating, right? Wait a second, let's look at Expert Secrets. Expert Secrets says, create a new opportunity. Why on earth would you do something that someone else is already doing? Did that ever confuse anyone else either? Right? There's a little bit of conflict that happens there. So how do you actually handle these books? They're meant to go together, okay? And they're meant to go in an order, right? First, what we're gonna go do, all right, I'm gonna get to this picture, it's really helpful. Step number 1, first what we're gonna do is we're gonna funnel hack, meaning go figure out the actual offers, right? The beliefs someone else is already convinced that is amazing and therefore I'm giving cash. The next thing I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go create a new opportunity based off of what has already been done. That's where they meet together, okay? I think of it as Dorsey and the Yellowbrook Road, okay? If you think of, right, you're gonna follow the Yellowbrook Road as far as all the value that's already been created up to that point. And all you're gonna go do is see like, oh, that's how this seller convinced all these people to buy. Right, offer, story, offer, story, offer, story. And then at the end of the Yellowbrook Road, you just add a new brick. Your new opportunity, because that brick's never been there, okay? But you're building it off of existing safe principles. That's why I love it so much. It's like super easy to do this when you start doing it that way. Right? You don't fill your own wallet, so who cares what your opinions are? What you do is you go figure out what all the red ocean things. Red ocean, what are the false beliefs they had? Oh man, I bet they're going to be really similar when I have this new opportunity drop in, right? What are the stories they're consuming? How do they like to consume? Okay. Anyway, so that's all we're doing here. There's another, have you ever read the book, The Innovator's Dilemma? I geek out over marketing stuff, so there's a lot of books I read, okay? Innovator's Dilemma? Yeah. Great book. Very hard to read. That guy's very smart. Okay? Now let's think about these books here real quick, because I want to mash it all together here so you know how to treat this content. Number 1, model what's already being done, .com Secrets. Number 2, do something new, something no one's ever done before, Expert Secrets. But look at this context. If I'm gonna go create a new blue ocean, okay, I'm making something that doesn't exist. Markets that do not exist cannot be analyzed. Wait a second, what? Right? Suppliers and customers must discover them together. Oh, interesting. I'm completely trying to support what Julie's was saying before. This is why you sell it before you build it, okay? Not only are the applications unknown at the time of their development, they are unknowable. right? You can't know everything about this new opportunity. If it's truly a new opportunity, you can't know everything about it. So you sell it, make the sales message. The sales messages for like Actionetics and all that stuff were made way before they ever started developing them. Those little animated videos, they were actually produced and done and ready way before they ever actually even started mapping out all the pieces. Because if I know it sells, then it means I should actually go build it. And I will build it with the customer. Would ClickFunnels be launched still if every bug was fixed? No. Right, it wouldn't. Right? And they know that. So you make it to a certain standard and actually start selling, and build it with the person. Build it with the customers. And so whether you're doing an info product course, or you're doing software, or you're doing a book, or you're doing, right, Tim Ferriss, the 4-Hour Workweek, his rollout strategy for that book was so impressive. A year before that thing was ever put out, he just started talking about it. It wasn't even written. And he would go write a chapter, and he'd go get all these people to talk about it, and he'd see their reactions. Sweet, they all want this. Then he'd go write the next chapter, put it all out to all these bloggers. Sweet, that's how they reacted. Let me change it. And that's how he rolled it out. That's why he, from nothing, blew up into this massive author, because he used the same strategy. It's used in multiple places. So when you figured out this stuff with Julian, you figure out this idea is amazing. Oh my gosh, that's incredible, right? You can roll into a larger launch. And this is part of what we're doing. So here's why we use the stack. The stack's interesting because the stack how should I say this? The stack is designed in a way to help you do the .com secrets, be safe, and expert secrets, be prolific thing at the same time. Okay? Follow with me here just a little bit, all right? All right, just follow me just a little bit. This is fascinating. And you'll make so much sales doing it this way. It's the reason we use the stack for everything. Okay? If I go in and I say, hey, first few items inside of the stack, this is where I'm going to be prolific, something that nobody's ever seen before. ClickFunnels. Wow, that's amazing. Nobody's ever seen that before, right? I'm also going to go in, though, and in the red, I'm going to react, though, to everyone's, oh my gosh, what is this? Will ClickFunnels work for me? I'm not smart enough. I'm not techie. How it's $300 a month, right? And I don't know how to write. Now watch this. If we look at the stack slide for funnel hacks and any other offer we ever put out ever, there's a portion of the stack that is reactionary to what the market told us to build. The market told us to build, right? Inception secrets. I don't know what my customer wants. Don't worry about it. We got this sweet thing called Inception secrets. I don't know how to write. Funnel scripts came out. I don't know how to write. You told us what to make. Fascinating, isn't it? But I can't listen 100% of the time, or I do what Henry Ford said. If I just listened to everybody else, I'd build a faster horse. So there's this portion of the stack, which helps us create the offer, that is completely prolific. It's the, wow, let's have the entrepreneur be the crazy side of them. Let's have them push the envelope. That's the first, usually 2 things on the stack, right? ClickFunnels. If Russell had listened to everybody else, he would have just made a better website editor, right? Instead, he's like, I'm going to go do this. This is really what I know people need. But they want everything in the bonus section, the tangibles, right? I don't know how to write email. Don't worry, we got Seinfeld secrets. Does this make sense? Is it helpful? That's why we're so obsessed over it. Because I'm able to take a step into the blue while keeping a toe of safety in the red still, right? This is like a purple ocean, okay? Right? And that's the reason it works so well, and it's one of the reasons also why Russell can continue just like launch. And although there'll be things that we know will fail at the beginning, we got to figure out the funnel here and there, the actual offer itself is amazing usually, right? Because we're putting the toe over in the red. They're telling us exactly what they want, but we're taking a toe also over in the blue. Oh man, what if? And we're combining the two. That's why the stack slide is so important. We use the stack slide at every level of the value ladder. What? Thought it was just for webinars. Okay, expert secrets. When we were putting this book out, right, we put the book out. What was the first product in that funnel? The book. What was the next product, the bump? Audio stuff. What was the next product? Right, what was the next product? We switched it. That's what Julie's talking about. It's expert secrets masterclass, right? Right, with White. Garrett White, thank you. I almost called him Gary White. Okay. What did we just list out? Items in the stack. How did we react to what the market was telling us it wanted? We know what we wanted to give the book. But people are going to go, this is so cool, but how do I become an expert? Oh, well, here's a masterclass about it. But how do I become, well, here's this. But I don't want to read the book. I want to get the book. That's amazing. But I don't want to read it. Vehicle-based objection, right? That's what that is. I don't want to read this. I don't like it. I want to let me consume, right? Audiobook. Don't worry about it. You don't have to read it. Here's the audiobook. Every level of the value ladder uses the stack. If you're in the webinar, which is typically in the middle, we give the stack at the end of the funnel, right? At the middle, at the very end of it, right? Here's what you're gonna get. This, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this. If we're going and we're doing an application-based funnel, we give it at the beginning. Hey, if you join Russell's Inner Circle, you're gonna get X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3. It's the stack. Okay, it's a way to model an amazing, sexy, really cool offer. It's so formulated. Does this make sense? I just hope that, like, my hope, my aim with all this stuff is that you see that like 80% of this is really, really templatized. It really is. You're gonna go out and figure out what people want, you're gonna give them exactly what they want, and then have a little bit of creativity placed inside of your offer. Really secure, okay? Base my stories off their false beliefs. Their false beliefs that told me what to tell them. Is that cool? Doesn't matter what funnel, doesn't matter what value ladder step, doesn't matter what you're selling. That model right there, we need a sound effect, it's been a while, right? We have to help you understand that, like, that's the core of what Secrets Masterclass is really trying to help you do and understand. So that when you're going in and out, you're selling this stuff, you're like, oh man, it's not that risky, right? When the market tells me what to do and I react with a little room of prolific. But Russell, I feel dumb doing this stack. All right, who feels dumb doing the stack? I get it, I did too for a while. Right, yeah, okay. How many of you guys have done it? How many have made a lot of money off of it? Yeah, look at those hands up, okay? We have a cure for this, we understand it, so I need everyone to stand up real quick. Stand up real quick, this is awesome. This will help you guys get over the fear of doing the stack. This is actually a super key technique that we've used for a long time. It's very helpful. The first part of it's really physical though. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your hand out like a 45-degree angle. I'll use this hand. 45-degree angle, and then you're gonna bend it a little bit here at the elbow. A little bit further, right here. And what you've not realized is while you're sitting here, the team has secretly put the most dangerous spider in Africa on the side of your face. Please get it off. This is not to insult anyone's intelligence. I just have to let you know how much it works, right? How much money okay, if you guys are okay with it, who's made the most money with the stack? I'm not saying who, but like who in this room? Who in this room? Who's made a buttload of money with the stack? 4 million, I heard 4 million. Who's about 4? 8 million, wow, right? 16, holy crap. Yeah, 25 million off the stack. Do it! Okay? I was so scared of it for such a long time until and you feel stupid. What else do you need? And it's this value over here. What else do you need? It's this value for total value of this, right? And I felt like so dumb the first time doing it. And then I made 37 grand on my first webinar in the first 2 days. And I was like, holy crap. I'm never gonna make fun of this in my life ever again. Okay, there's one other method. This is the other method here, okay? Please put out your right hand. And go like this. World's smallest violin, because nobody cares. Okay? All right, you guys can sit down. I'm gonna watch a video here real quick. This is the last time Russell ever did the Funnel Hacks presentation live. I was sitting there and I was like, this is very monumentous, right? He made like 10 million bucks in a couple of years. Like, I think two years off that one webinar. Could you press play on this real quick? And guys, I'm gonna ask you what you notice after this, okay? Should you press play?
$11,552. Now, obviously I'm not going to charge you guys $11,552 for all this stuff today, but it is worth it. In fact, I'm curious, if all that this training and the software did was finally give you a funnel that's profitable, where you could put $1 in advertising in and make $2 back out, would that be worth the $11,552? Heck yeah, it would be. I spent more than on almost every funnel I've ever built, because when it's done, it's like an ATM machine. You put $1 in, you get $2 back out. Okay, if I had a magic ATM machine that I just did that all day, I would pay way more than $11,000. So it's totally worth that, right? If all this did was help you to share your message with more people, would it be worth the $11,552? Yeah, we spend more than that a day right now in Facebook ads to get my message out to the world, okay? So yes, this is worth way more than that, because it's gonna get your message out to more people. I know that most of you guys, if you have something you can share with the world, you should try to get it out. ClickFunnels is the tool that gets your message out to the world. Now, if all this did was give you the ability to stop pulling your hair out of your head and cancel all the monthly tools that you're currently using together to glue together your funnels, and probably firing some annoying tech people that are driving you nuts anyway, would it be worth it? Yes, it would. Okay, I told you the average ClickFunnels members saves over $1,000 a month by using ClickFunnels. That's $12,000 a year. Okay, that's way better than the $11,552 this is worth. So I'm so excited I'm stuttering. Okay, but you need to understand that. But obviously, I'm going to price this. I had two different choices.
Awesome. What did you guys notice? He's standing up. What else? Melanie's in the back. Yeah, we're all used to that. Yeah. Just typing away. Yeah. A high energy environment. What else? Yeah, he's like he's on stage. We are physically exhausted by the time we are done. And we're like, my webinar didn't convert. I was like, yeah, we listened to it. You are boring to listen to, right? Right? That's the script works. You didn't work it, right? What else did you notice?
He was barefoot.
There's a treadmill under the desk. No shoes on. Absolutely. What else? Barefoot. Inflection, right? Right? Inflection's huge. You're going to learn all this stuff inside Secrets Masterclass. Where at the end of every one of my sentences, I go up at the end like this because the trial closes you like this. Isn't that amazing? This is so cool. And you guys are like, yeah, I didn't ask you a question, right? But with my inflections, I'm asking questions. You're going to learn all that stuff. What else did you notice? I heard it. What's that?
He's talking with his hands.
Talking with his hands like crazy. I've hit my computer before. Isn't that amazing? It's like, oh, crap.
three false beliefs in his what-if statement.
Yeah, there's 3 false beliefs right there. Yeah. If all this did, totally. Yeah, exactly. That actually ties the secret 1, 2, 3 false beliefs. It's very keen. So, yeah.
Picture of his family nearby.
Picture of his family nearby? Absolutely. Yeah, most grounded people I've ever met. Most people, anyway, when they're rich, sometimes don't like that. This is a great person to model after that, okay? What else?
Keep repeating, would it be worth it?
Would it be worth it? Yeah, of course it would. And he pauses so that they'll say yes, and then he answers for them even if they didn't. Of course it's worth it, right? What else do you notice?
Story per point.
There's a story per point. Yeah, we went through, we started like, Dave, how many stories have you counted him doing in a single presentation?
Oh my gosh, in like 20 minutes there, one time there was like 36, 37 stories. It's crazy.
More than one a minute.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? The man is a storytelling machine, right? Because do you think everyone has the same false beliefs? No, they don't, right? And so we're like, new opportunity. And someone's like, well, I don't know if I can. And Russell's like, story. Well, I don't know. Story. So we're going to take the top one of each of those categories, vehicle, internal, external. But then there's a lot of sub ones. And so we'll go out and we'll create this little, it doesn't even have to be a full minute, right? Right, go in and a little tiny epiphany bridge story for each one of them. Bam, 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 bam. All right? And just knock down the false belief, knock down the false belief, knock down the false belief. Like, that's not how stuff works anymore. Okay? Okay, this milestone is one of my favorite milestones ever because when you're done, you will have a stack slide that lets you actually model, like I was saying, an actual offer and then put together the script itself. Anyway, you're done when you create the stack slide. When we say new opportunity or stack slide or offer, it's really like one and the same thing, just so you guys know. Does that make sense? Vernacular-wise, we should probably call it some other things too, but it's all the same thing, okay? So you're going to create your stack slide / offer new opportunity. Okay, you're going to identify the 6 masterclass topics if you do an info. I'm going to defend info real quick here, if that's all right, Julie. For us info sellers, I like info because once the sale happens, I'm done. Anyway, agency's a great model. I could never pull off agency though. We have a stamp. Julie has this amazing ability to just love. And we're getting a stamp sent over right now. It says Julie approved. It means there's love in it now. Anyway, right. So if you're doing a masterclass, we're going to help you identify the 6 masterclass topics. That will come from the Red Ocean, not you. Awesome. You'll learn how to do that. There's something called an anchor product we'll help you guys with. Fast action bonus. This is massive. You guys will learn about how to do that and create restraints and then how to release it at the end. Oh, super cool. Magic bullet right there of how the scripts work. How to assign values. And anyway, you're just going to follow the pathway. Links on how to do every one of these over in the Secrets Masterclass. Examples and templates along the way as well. Yeah? Boom. Boom. Assets collected. We say boom. Boom. Say it with your chest. Boom. Yeah. Right. Everyone stand up for a little minute. You guys mind? We need this. You guys got those dinner carbs. We're going to burn them off real quick. Right. A lot of you guys, service members as well, you guys know this, right? So it was in basic training. It was all the sad sob stories. I was in basic training. It was winter time. It was December. We were wearing shorts and t-shirts, and there's an ice storm going on. And the drill sergeants were like taking advantage of that. We were practicing taking over areas. And so we'd go run into this area, and he's like, Larsen, go jump down over there. So I'd jump over there. The problem was that it was raining, ice and rain, right? Sleet. There was like 6 inches of water where he told me to jump. Are you kidding me? It's like 33 degrees outside. All right, I'm gonna try and be a man. Okay, let's do this, right? And I jumped down, and I jumped in the water, and immediate like shock to the body, right? Whoa. And then you start shaking. Your body's trying to stay warm, right? And then pretty soon the shakes stop because all the blood's going to your organs to keep you alive, right? And we were in that water for like, I don't know, another 8 hours after that. And it's super cold. Everyone's phalanges are turning blue. I don't know why I remember that word, not fingers. Okay, and I was like, this is crazy. And I remember I was sitting there, and I had this moment that has affected me forever. And it's part of the reason why we can push so hard. Okay, I sat there and I was like, okay, this really sucks. I have no say over this situation. How do I react to it appropriately? And so I said to myself, what if I react well? And I stood up and I started, when the drill sergeants weren't looking, I started running and jumping in all the puddles next to all the other soldiers. And they're like, Larsen, you suck. Get down. I hate you. Curse your unborn children. Right? Like, well, we have a kid. Anyway, so I was right? I was jumping around all over the place, and I started yelling this phrase, sometimes out loud and sometimes internally, just to get people and myself in state and react well. And when Russell came out, I came out of a coaching session with you guys about a year ago, and he goes, dude, I'm live in 11 minutes. You got to build this funnel in 11 minutes. A funnle in 11 minutes? Right? Russell, I can't do it. I could have done that. Or I could have gone, right? This is how you do it. We're going to yell the phrase. First of all, you got to flare the nostrils. This helps, right? Okay? And I started yelling this phrase. It's, don't mess it up. It's all caps. H, apostrophe H, O-O, ho, okay? And then it's B-A-Y, B-A-Y, baby. Okay? We're going to yell it. We're going to wake you guys up. Those dinner carbs are betraying us, okay? Right? We're going to yell it. First, you got to grab the bootstrings. Grab your bootstrings. Grab bootstrings, right? And don't, baby. No, there's the door. I'll kick you out, okay? This is how you do it, though. Okay, you grab the bootstrings, and with your gut, and go, oh, baby. Okay, super loud. I usually only save one because it's really loud. Ready? Don't mess it up. Okay, ready? Grab those bootstrings. Oh, baby! Wow! Yeah! Wow! Fun 11 minutes, yeah! Wow! Thank you guys. You guys feel more alive? Sounds good. We're going to move on. You guys sit down.
Go crazy, Steven.
A little bit.
Love it.
All right. At this point, we've collected the assets. Assets are collected. I want to show you what I do with them before I move on. My whiteboards in my office are filled with this format, and it's helped me dramatically speed up the effect and how fast I'm able to put offers out the door. Good ones, okay? Now I know what their false beliefs are. I know the story, the new story I will say to them. I also know the offer and opportunity through the stack I will deliver them. I've effectively designed a new opportunity for the red ocean I'm popping out of. Crazy cool. Okay, this is how I do it. This is how I lace all the assets together. I draw on my whiteboard a line right down the center, and this has helped me incredibly. Brainstorm with a format. Okay, so what I do first is I list the false beliefs, and I put the number one vehicle, internal and external belief, right? One, the knee-jerk objection to the opportunity, an insecurity, an external one. Next, I list out the stories that's most likely creating that belief. They had some experience in their head, and it's the reason why they have the belief. If I know what that story is that's most likely fueling that belief, I can use that in my sales script. It's so cool. From there, I now know, right? So I'll write just like really, really briefly, like the topic of the story. Okay, you know what? They think this story, so I'm going to tell this one now. All right, now I have a column, and I literally just write, it's literally an arrow from one column to the left. So the vehicle over on the left has its own old story, its own news story, okay? Its own headline, which becomes secret number one. Okay, so I create the headlines. These slides, again, will be made available to all you guys. You guys will have them in the members area. But this is the format I do. The last thing that I do is I go, and this is literally how the format I follow in order to create the stack slide. And those become the bonuses for bonus 1, 2, and 3. All I got to do is add what I actually wanted to sell in the first place on top of it, and there's my offer. Yeah. Oh, smooth butter right there. Yeah, thank you very much. Absolutely. Okay, this format, and what I'm doing, this format is, it's kind of my research phase. That's why I call it the assets. It's the things I need before I even go into funnel building. Okay, before I even open up ClickFunnels and start messing with stuff. Okay, we've tested out the sweet idea with Julie. Now we're giving it a 2 Comma Club structure to the idea itself, to the offer, to the sales message. And now every one of those pieces have been created inside of it.
What's the old story and end story?
Sorry, old story, new story. Yeah. All right, we'll move on here. All right, now that we have the assets, I can actually build the webinar script itself, or sales script. Doesn't have to be for webinar. Great. And actually start putting this stuff together. Before we move on, how many of you guys have seen this diagram or have it inside your office or house or whatever? Sweet, right? Awesome, so valuable, right? This is so incredible. I've got it right in front of my computer on the wall. And I still just look at it all the time. So a little script orientation for the way this works. And we're going over this because a lot of people go in and like I said, it's a lot of hours of training, or it can be. We want to make sure it's as refined as possible so you're not running around over the place. Just so you know what you're looking at when you get inside of there. First of all, understand that it's a perfect webinar or other. It doesn't matter what you're selling, like I was saying before. I know I keep saying that, but it's because it's like one of the number one objections I get. I'm not doing a webinar. Doesn't matter, okay? Doesn't matter, okay? The first part of the webinar script is very emotional based, right? Buying is an emotional experience, right? The second part of the script is the logical close itself. This is the reasons you should act now, right? First part, let me go and, hey, let me change the way you see the world. I'm gonna tell stories that break and rebuild your old beliefs. Number 2, I'm gonna go and give you a close on right now on why you should act now and give you money. Where does the sale actually happen? Story, right? There's a lot of false belief that comes around when I'm actually doing the webinar script for anything. When I'm doing the script though, like, man, I told these amazing stories. I told my origin story. Then I told 3 more stories to break and rebuild their beliefs. But man, I got so clammed up inside of the actual script itself for the close, and I ended up not making any money because I didn't do well in the close. Where did you actually sell them though? If your stories were amazing, you actually sold them at the end of section 1 there, before getting there. Those are just the reasons to act now, right? And actually give you the cash at that moment. Funny enough, I was looking at, did you guys see that 6-hour deep dive Russell just did on his Grant Cardone presentation? You guys remember that? Crazy amazing, right? I mean, that was amazing. Super cool. And what was fascinating is, so I was sitting next to him on the other, there's like a barrier right there, and I was sitting there listening to him, and I had my slides up and his, and goes piece by piece, like just re-destroying mine. I'm constantly just destroying my script and redoing it and rebuilding it. And it's funny because I came to this realization about halfway through, I was like, man, my stories are so incredible. And then I got to the end, like I could tell, I could feel it. It's something we can't teach, you'll feel it. My audience is resonating with those stories. Holy crap, the actual sales portion is going great. However, I was looking at my closes, and the closes, they were all right, but the stack slide, the actual offer was terrible. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So I adapted, I adjusted, did it again, had this massive spike in sales. I was like, why did it work so well before? We did like well over 6 figures with a really bad, right? It worked so well because I was a great storyteller. Does that make sense? I'm trying to illustrate the importance of this. You guys start practicing telling stories. All right. What are some of the biggest reasons people don't do the webinar or use the script? I mean, what do you guys think? I hear a lot of them, but it's weird. Fear. Ooh.
Never done it before.
Never done it before. Yeah, it's definitely new. Why else? It's long. They're like, what? Right? And there's lots of versions, super long version, super short version. What's that?
I'm afraid people will know what you're doing because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, you know what you're doing, therefore everyone must know what I'm gonna do, right? They all know there's a bonus coming. Don't worry, that's not the real price. All right? Scared other people are gonna think about it, 100%, definitely. Why else?
So wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. Boy, there's more again. Boy, there's more again, right? And you feel a little weird the first time, totally get it. Some of the big ones I hear is like, my industry's not a fit for this. Yes, it is. There's no story behind that. Yes, it is. I gotta move faster. Okay. People say, I'm a bad storyteller, there's no emotion. Well, that's an easy fix. Just start telling stories. It took me about 30 podcast episodes before I started getting good and found my voice. That's why I chose podcasting. I had this like clinical fear, almost near clinical fear of adults as a kid. I had to get over it, even into my early 20s. And that's very fixable. Can't put the slides together. That's kind of a beast. So what we have inside Secrets Masterclass for you as well is I took Russell's funnel hack slides, and then I went through, and you guys know in Expert Secrets book, he says like, hey, next we're gonna have this slide because it's really important. Then we'll have this slide because it's really important. I took all the images from the Expert Secrets book, and I placed them as title slides before the actual section in his funnel hacks presentation. It's really cool. So that's downloadable. It's already, you guys will have all that. It's really sweet. It'll shortcut so much of what you guys build though. It's crazy. Then also the actual webinar itself. We'll get to that in a second. The other one that people always ask is, maybe I can distract myself with the next module. People always say that. What I want you to do, and one of the reasons why I'm asking this, is that I feel one of the measures of my own success is that if I can get you guys to start doing to your own head what I'm trying to teach you to do to your customers, it's amazing. Your progress in this goes through the roof. What are my false beliefs about the process, right, that John, Julie, James are teaching, Stephen's teaching? We know it works. We had tons of 2 Common Club winners from the last round that we did this. We know you guys are going to do it. So just, I'm trying to help you identify those things, become cognizant of it. Don't beat yourself up over it, obviously, but start sitting back. And if you've made the $1 million, awesome. You're in a scaling phase, which is super cool. Oh, the slide's kind of messed up a little bit. Has anyone ever heard of this book? If you've ever heard my story about this, don't ruin it. But have you guys heard this? You guys know this book? Has anyone ever read this? Yeah, it's a good book, isn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. Ooh, that's closer than I thought, right? It's fantastic. Let me tell you guys about this book. This book means a lot to me. It's actually very copy. I've been in the pursuit of how to make money for a long time. And for my age, it's barely turned 30, right? I almost got kicked out of high school, actually, for selling too much stuff. It's true. They're like, you gotta stop selling so much stuff. And I had to serve a lot of like detention and community service. Anyway, so I've been in the pursuit of this for a long time. And I remember my wife and I got married, right? And we went and I started selling lots of stuff, or trying to, and I started doing a whole bunch of different things that were out there. And I remember this feeling, probably after like the 5th or 6th failure, it's like, when am I going to make it, right? How many of you guys have identified with that? Like, when will I have the personal validation, right? I felt like I was being challenged as a man because I wasn't providing. I felt like I was, I don't know, it was rough. It didn't feel like I was, well, all these other guys are being successful, and they told me that since all these other people are being successful, and if I'm not, there must be something wrong with the way I'm doing it, right? And there's a helpful side of that, and there's the other side where it's just like, bam, 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 you're like smacking you in the ground, right? And I felt really low. And, it was the classic cliche, well, what business are you going to do now, Stephen, right? When I go talk to my peers, like, oh, don't worry, it's only number, 100, oh, how much money did you make on that one? Nothing, it was in the hole of $1,000, and that happened over and over and over and over. And I remember this one time, my wife and I, we were sitting in a McDonald's on a date, each with like $1 for our budget, because we were living on student loans with all the money I was making, right? The 18 grand that first year, right? And I remember she looked at me. She's trying to be supportive. And she looked at me and she said, she's trying to say it in a nice way where it wasn't going to kill me, and destroy my pride, because it was already really low and I was just trying, which we've all probably been there. Right. So she said, hey, is it going to work this time? Like, is this the one? No, I really want to help you and help you. What can I do to support you? Is there? How can I help you be successful in this? Right? And inside, I was like trying to be the man. babe, I got it, I'm your man, right? I'm the provider. Internally, I was freaking out, right? How many of you guys have been there? Right? Happens to all of us, right? And so I remember there's this particular day I was walking. We didn't have enough money for another car, so I was walking home, and it was the super like cliche moment straight out of Hollywood, and it was raining, and I was walking home in college, and I was walking home, and I was just like racking my brain. This question never left my head. How do I make money? How come I can't make money? Where's the problem? How am I doing this? What's the thing? Opportunity. Oh, that could work. That could work. Well, I have all these ideas. How come I'm not being successful? Right? Ideas must equal success, right? And those are some of the things I was believing. And I was walking back home. It was raining, kind of muggy out. And as I'm walking home, after a while, the sun starts to part, and there's blue sky on the other side. Very cliche birds came and flew around the area. I was like, oh my gosh. And a distance off, probably from like here to that corner, I see this gentleman, and he's sitting at a bench. Right over there, and he's reading. And he's sitting there, and you can tell he had just sat down. He hadn't been sitting long because the rain had just parted. But he sat there, and as he's sitting there, he's kind of thumbing through, and he would read for a little bit, and he would kind of close his eyes, and he would think. And I stopped walking, and I was total stalker mode. And I was like, look at this guy. I was like, how can I not be creepy here? Looking at this guy, I was like, that's interesting. I'm really hyper observant, so I was observing this guy. You're all fun to watch, right? And I was observing this guy, and he'd stop, and he'd close his eyes, and he'd put his head back a little bit, and he'd think. And then he'd open the page back up. I could tell it was the same page. I saw a graph on there, right? Speak of rain, right? And then he would put his head forward and write something and read a little bit, and then he'd close it again. I was like, this is really weird. Who's this guy? What's he doing? About that time, I remember this cognitive thought, this limo pulls up. And it pulls up in front of him, and this dude with like unnaturally amazing posture gets out, and this incredibly nice, tuxedo walks in front of the car. He wasn't being cocky or whatever, but he walks in front of the car, and he opened the door, and he did like this little half bow. And this guy, and he just waited there. He waited. He didn't do anything else. He waited. And this guy, he slowly closes the book, and he stands up, and he kind of does a little half smile, and you could tell that he knew the guy well, like there's a relationship there, maybe he'd been doing the guy for a long time, whatever. And he stands up, and he walks on over to the driver, and they exchange words for a little bit, and he goes to sit in the car, and it's funny, like the guy was just wearing wealth. I mean, his watch was easily worth more than I was ever making, worth way more than 18 grand, and I bet he wasn't borrowing it, right? Right? That he was just wearing wealth. I mean, the dude was, but you could tell he was also humble about it, which I really respected. And he went, and he goes, and he starts to go, and I could tell he's reaching to close the door, and I ran. And I ran at the door, and I stopped it. I was like, hey, I know this is weird. What's up? How did you get where you are? I'm sure people ask you that. I've been really trying a lot of stuff, and just nothing seems to work. Why isn't it working? Right? How many of you guys have thought that? Why isn't it working? And he's like, I don't know. You're like, what? Why isn't what working? I was like, could you tell me though, please? Like, how are you doing what you did? Because I'm really tired of how I'm living, and I'm hustling. It's not like I'm lazy. I'm working my butt off. How do I do it? And he smiled, and he didn't say much. I still remember his voice, though. And he said, he kind of like leaned back a little bit, smiled, and he goes, yeah, a lot of people ask me that. He said, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody else, but you have to promise me that you will do it. I was like, oh, yeah, of course. I'm your guy. I'm the man, right? Of course I will. Of course I will. Absolutely. And he starts smiling, and the very book he was holding was this one, okay? And he closes the book, and he goes, everything I've learned is in this book. About 20 years ago, I was extremely poor. I had no money or no cash or anything, and I started reading this book. And I've just been applying literally everything that's in this book with exactness, and 20 years later, I don't recognize my life anymore. I was like, whoa, okay, cool. And he goes, here you go. And he hands the book to me, and he goes, this is what you will do. He said, you will read this book for 20 minutes every day. No more, no less. I don't want you to drown. You'll read it for 20 minutes every day, and then you will spend the next 40 applying what you did in that 20. I was like, sweet. Okay, I will do that. I will do that. Guys, that was 2 years ago. He closed the door and left. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that cool? Mike, what's that? For a long time, no. But he reached back out, and this is actually, I guess this isn't the book, but it was. This is the new edition of it, and I wanted to do something, and he asked if we would do this, and anyway, we're excited to do it for you guys. But he's selling these books, right? And he's got this new edition now, and it's pretty awesome. And this book changed my life. And I want you guys to have it. And so what he's let me do, I told him what I do. I told him who I am, what I do. And now, right? Back then, I wasn't wanting to do that, right? And I gave, anyway, he said, I want to give you this book. Anyway, so he's selling the book, and we want to give it to you guys. Just pay for shipping. How do you guys know that model? Okay, but you pay for shipping, but for free, though, it's an affiliate link of mine. Okay, you'll pay for shipping. I don't want you to do what we were talking about before and like freak out over the fact that it's freaking huge, okay? It's massive. So we went and I personally recorded an audio version of this. We're gonna give it to you guys as well. It comes with it. Sweet. Isn't that cool? It's awesome. Isn't that cool? Now, if you're like me, though, if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of hyper, my head goes all over the place, and I love it. My brain takes me on a ride, and I let it, like, woo, right? All the time. I have a hard time focusing sometimes, and, right? And so I was like, I paid for a VA. I don't want you to stress out. Like, I take literally, at least 6 months to read one book because I read a paragraph, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, all the connections, this is ridiculous. That's like the beautiful mind happens, right? Oh, look at this is nuts. And I start writing down notes, and I'm over the whiteboards, look at the connections. And hopefully it's all real, and I don't have schizophrenia, right? Okay, but it takes me a long time. And so what I don't want you to do is stress out over how long it takes to get through it. And so what we did is I had somebody go through and create bullet points of all the chapters. So when you forget where one principle is, you will know where to go back and get it and read more if you want it, okay? This is huge for me. I've done that with all my books now, and then I can look back and read through all of my notes through bullet points. Oh, this key idea. So we're gonna give that to you guys as well. Kind of this thank you as well. Isn't that cool? Right, two other things here. We're also going to give you guys, I am obsessive over only learning what gets me to the next step. Don't get swallowed in noise. Follow the pathway, okay? So only learn for that step, not number 3. Only worry about that when you did number 2. That one. So what we did is we created a checklist so you can apply the things that are in the book. So isn't that cool, right? So you got the checklist in there, and you can go through and you actually can drop in and be like, cool, I did that, cool, I did that, cool, that's simple to the pathway, okay? And this last one I'm really excited about. Anyway, he agreed. It's extremely important for me to only work with people who are runners. That's my customer. And so for the first 50 of you guys, as soon as we guys give you a link, where do you guys see this? Fast action bonus, here it comes, transparency. First 50 to come and grab it with the link that we drop here in just a moment. We're going to have a live event in about 6 months. So you have time to read it, ingest it, go through it, where it's straight implementation with him for 2 days. Yeah? Is that sweet? Anyway, isn't that cool? So anyway, what you guys are going to get, you guys are going to get the book, the audio. I'll give you guys the bullet points. You guys get the checklist inside of it. Also, the first 50 are going to come just do a one-on. It's going to be me and him for 2 days just doing a deep dive with you guys. We grabbed a whole bunch of testimonials. I've been doing this with people for the last, so 2 years ago, I started implementing it. 6 months after that, I started having all these successes. And then I was like, this is amazing. Like, I can't help it. I'm a teacher by nature, so I started teaching other people, and they started having successes. So we filmed a whole bunch of testimonials for you guys of these people. Like one dude, like I at least had a pillow, right? This guy, his name's Philip. Anyway, it's amazing. If you guys, we've got a few of the testimonials we're going to queue up here for you guys so you guys can see it and check it out. But I know it will help you guys along the way. You guys have so much more than he ever did, right? You guys can do this. So we're going to watch these for just the next few minutes here and go ahead and grab it. Could we put the link up there as well. Is that all right? And who's the first 50? You guys excited? You guys want this? Yeah. Book, audio checklist, bullet points, and the live event for free, $7.95 shipping. Obviously. Come on, we're marketers. Yeah? Yeah. That was all fake! Dang it! I will need that book back. Wait a second. You guys are looking at me funny. What did I just do? Let me be clear. All of that was made up. I've never read the book. Did I tell you the chapters? Isn't that interesting? First of all, interesting, right? Amazing. How did I know what story to tell? Man, I had you guys so good. Oh man, I had you way more than the last group. That was awesome. Oh my gosh. That was such a good one. That's the 4th time I've made up a story, and Dave bought it last time. Dave went and purchased it. He actually bought it. He was sitting in the back. He bought it. A whole bunch of other people bought it. Are you going to hit me? What? Love you, man. Thanks, brother. Last time at Funnel King Live, someone walked up to the stage. It was a little weird. So I was like, what's he going to do? Hey, okay, what did I just do? Because I am so freaking sick of people saying this doesn't work because I'm not doing a webinar. This comes out of my own chip off the shoulder attitude. What did I just do? I made an offer. What else? I made an irresistible offer out of a book. Right? That's exactly how we did it with Expert Secrets and .com Secrets. It's a stack sideways. We just dripped it out page by page. Upsell, upsell, upsell. Does that make sense? Your emotional reaction. Right? How many of you guys felt the story I was talking about? What points did you feel? Let me know. 2 years ago, right? Right? I brought the script present by saying 2 years ago. Great scripts do that. How else did I get you? What made you emotional? Put the arm inside of the car and stop. I put the arm inside of the car and stopped the door from closing. Dollar menu. The dollar menu. Why does the dollar menu resonate? Because we've all done it. That's why I put it in. Right? What other elements made it emotional for you? Rain. Was that? Yeah, the story itself, right? What else? What's that? You related to it.
Also, the solution in certain areas of the point system, the way you created everything that's not a big book.
Yeah.
Bullet point. I put it down in paragraphs.
Yeah, so don't worry about the fact that it's a big book.
And the whole thing.
How many of you guys, when you saw the size of the book, you're like, I don't know if I want to read, like that sounds cool, but I know I'm probably not going to read that, right? How many of you guys feel that? I feel that. That's why I buy the book because I think it's cool and then I usually listen to the audio.
You read 20 minutes a day.
Right?
Put it down.
20 minutes a day.
40 minutes.
What is the 20 minutes a day story combating? An external related belief. I don't have enough time. So I placed it in there so that you guys see, oh no, you do have enough, because this is what he told me to do, right? Then all I did was match an actual product inside of that with the story matching the false belief. Does that make sense? Is this clicking? You see how powerful this is? And it's a skill. I didn't know it. I was so freaking shy growing up. I had to learn it, and it's not taken long. Just dedicate and marry it, okay? Get dedicated to it, okay? All the elements inside the story. My spouse doesn't know when I'm gonna be successful. Am I ever gonna be successful with this? I've tried so many times without an actual big success yet. How many of those have you guys gone through? All of us. So knowing those things, when I say old story, I take those old stories, I crafted it inside of something completely fictitious, okay? And put myself as the protagonist in it. Now you're like, oh my gosh, I've been there before. And I'm like, I know. That's where I got the idea, right? That's why I say it's more about becoming good detectives, okay? I want to make something incredibly clear to you guys. Could we turn the mic down just a little bit?
The fact that Myron asked his name.
Myron asked his name. Did I ever see him again? I was like, I can't blow it now. But like, yeah, man, a little bit, yeah, right? It was so believable, right? Dave bought it last time, and a bunch of other people bought it as well. On Amazon. You bought it? You guys bought it? We have more buyers. Wait, how many people bought it? We have a bet going. 1, 2, 3. Who else bought it? 4? Wait, do we have 5? If it's 5, I win. All right, 3 clients bought it? No way! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is that fascinating? Totally made up. I've never read it. I grabbed a random book off my shelf. Is the point made? Good. Okay? The webinar script is more, Russell regrets to the nth degree how much he called that. He does not like that he called it the perfect webinar script. He hates that he calls it that because people think it's only for webinars. That's not the point. It is the result of 15 years of stage presentations on his side. This is all true, okay? So you guys are gonna believe me now. But it is. And he went in and he had all these amazing gurus that you guys have all heard about come in and tweak things, tweak. Huge failures on Russell's side. That is like one of the most high leverage skill sets I could ever think that you'd go learn. It doesn't matter what medium you're using to do the sale. I don't care if you're doing direct sales through the mailbox. It doesn't matter if it's ClickFunnels. It doesn't matter if it's local sales. The ability to know what the false beliefs are the objections, when they see your product, know the stories to break and rebuild, and then make an offer that fills that void, because you just broke the way they see things. Oh my gosh, my vehicle sucks. That's why we call that last chapter in Expert Secrets your moral obligation. You've just created a void. Sell them something. Give them something. Make your offer. And that helps like crazy, okay? Have I ever read the book? No. I have no idea what's in the book. Did I ever talk about the chapters? Wait a second. So the book didn't sell itself? Books, right? Your product never sells itself. Probably the closest time that's ever happened is when Steve Jobs stood up and said, 1,000 songs in your pocket. That's still a pitch though, but like the product pretty much sold itself from that point. But that's like super rare, right? Products don't sell themselves. They never do. Right? That's why I've had many people come out and they'll be like, I've gone through Secrets Masterclass. I'm just waiting for my offer to get more amazing in order to go sell it yet. That's not how it happens. That's not how it happens. I just told you my own offer itself, like 6 weeks ago, I realized was crappy because that's not where the sale's made. It happens over in the actual message piece, the story piece. The sale happens there. The shift in the brain happens there. You're just stepping into the void that you created. And if you don't, someone else will. Okay? Did I tell you the chapters of the book? Nope. I've never read the back cover. I have no idea I don't know anything about this book. I want to read it more now. I'll probably need it back. Because actually, check out how huge that is. That is $7.95, yeah. There's weeks of mental ecstasy packed in this thing. I'm so pumped to actually read it when I do. It'll take me like a year. That actually is true.
The original book with his writing, the gentleman you met on the thing, only for $7.95. I can get it for you.
Right? Yeah.
The original copy that he gave.
Oh, you have the original copy. That's amazing. Anyway, I hope you guys understand the whole point with this stuff, that you see that that's where your ability, that's where a marketer is born. When you can do that, marketing is it's literally changing belief. The essence of marketing is shifting belief, and you do it through education and storytelling. That's it. That's all it is. And if you get good at that, it's this massive parachute and safety net for your funnel. Some aspect in your funnel sucks. That's fine. Guys, my funnel is limping on one leg right now. I built 500 funnels. We don't know the actual number. It's somewhere around there. 500 in 2 years next to him. I want to build another funnel so badly. It's ridiculous. That's almost one a day. But that's my one funnel this entire year. Your one funnel away is not a joke, okay? It's limping along though. There's so much wrong with it, but I know it's not what makes the sale because I'm not done yet critiquing the crap out of the message. Most of the message piece, in fact, that's probably like 99%. The offer, I just nailed it down, which is awesome. So now I'm finally focusing and obsessing on the funnel. All the little bells and whistles, all the little features, all the little tweaks inside of it. Does it integrate here and there? Man, who freaking cares if it doesn't sell? Right? So I don't worry about that until I know it sells, offer fulfills on the value that I created in that message. And then I go focus on the funnel, okay? Does the book itself? No. Nay. Everyone say nay. Nay. Right? Going back to this original thing, it's usually not an offer problem. It usually is a sales message storytelling issue that people run into with this. They're like, but I want to be a funnel builder. That's great. And your funnel matters, okay? But did I have a funnel up here? I did. What's one of those red oceans? Remember those two things in there? There was an offer and a belief. Did I give you both? That's a funnel. That's why they exist offline and online. That's why if someone makes money and they don't really know how, they still have a funnel. They just didn't do it intentionally, so it's crappy, right? Remember, because the funnel is not the business. And so I did. I had a funnel in front of you right there. It was just oral. All right. I even told you guys, look, there's going to be a link. There's going to be this. I'm telling you the expected upsells as you go. Okay. This is back at one of the FAT events. You guys know Trey Llewellyn, awesome guy, absolutely amazing guy. My voice is like going from all the yelling I'm doing. This doesn't happen. It's really weird. He said, hey, holy crap, 2 Common Club is, to put it lightly, intense. Anyway, he went and he left in the middle of the FAT event that I was running. It was one of the first ones that I was kind of left on my own to go do, and Russell was still working. And so for 3 days, people were there. They paid $15,000 to be there for 3 days, and I was teaching. It was awesome, and people got great results from that, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Well, Trey Llewellyn was there in the corner. I was like, crap, it's Trey Llewellyn. Oh my gosh, right? And he stands up in the middle of my stuff and just leaves. And I'm like, well, he's Trey. Like, I'm not going to question that. Like, you go do your thing, man, right? And he comes back, and he was like, dude. He calls me Little Brunson. He goes, dude, Little Brunson. He goes, check this out, man. Last week I did a webinar, converted at 7%. I just left and did a webinar based off of what you just taught. It was only like the beginning of day 2. And it 2.3x my sales. Is that nuts? Let me give you some numbers so that you guys know what that means. Usually around 5% conversion rate on a webinar. It's usually 6 figures in a year if you do it every week. It's really easy. 10%, $1 million, easy. 15%, okay, by comparison, Russell closed his funnel hacks at 17%. That made 10 million in 2 years. I mean, you're cooking with gas in that range, okay? Anyway. So that's awesome stuff. I just want to know how huge this is and why it matters so much. The milestones in this one, I hope you guys, anyway, you're going to create the actual script. Again, perfect webinar, call it whatever kind of script you want to. It's a sales script. Whatever selling, whatever area in the value ladder, whatever product it is that you have going on, you're going to create the script. You're going to make the actual stack section, which is pretty awesome. There's some great trainings you guys are going to go through and see. As Russell, for like 5 minutes, he'll figure out live on stage, super cool. We've been recording all this stuff and pulling all the assets together. He'll bring someone up from the audience. It's the coolest thing ever to watch. See what their offer is, pull it out from them because they usually don't know what it is. Pull out the 4 stories because they don't know what it is, and then he'll pitch their product. I saw him act as a pregnant woman once and pitch his product, and everyone was like, I gotta have this. It didn't exist. The exact same thing happened. Okay. Anyway, so you guys will learn the stack section, and you guys get to see all the little isms. The closes, amazing trial closes, where we say, does that make sense? You guys getting this? You guys see how you're going to start applying this? You guys see how this will affect your business? Imagine your spouse as they come out and they go, oh my gosh, you're awesome, right? How good is that going to feel? Anyway, you guys are going to learn all the trial closes. They help like crazy. You can turn into slides or other. And then this is hugely key. This is the reason why there's so much security for what I've been doing on my own. All right, I talked about what I was doing in my script, right, on my publication. I documented the journey along the way. Isn't it funny that Russell tells us how to sell and then sells us with the exact same stuff? What? We know what he's doing, right? But how many of you guys saw that countdown clock at Funnel Hacking Live to come here? And you're like, I know what this is. I got to have it. Oh my gosh. Like he stood up and ran to the back. Right? Funny, right? Yeah, a few guys ran. Some of you guys ran to the back, a few minutes left, right? And but we know what he's doing. What's funny about a lot of fears entrepreneurs have about their product and the way they build the funnels out, they have fears, I've noticed, especially going through this course, they have fears about telling too much. I'm going to tell too much. I'm going to tell too many things, right? I'm going to tell them how I'm going to get them. And if that's how you feel about your own thing, then they're going to feel that way too. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to, anyway. So don't be afraid of telling your ideas. Funny enough, no one will pull it off the same way you will anyway. Follow the pathway. Again, all that stuff is in there as far as it's very templatized. Real quick, I just want to pause for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we got to go into a few of the things here. I have 1 hour left, but are there any questions right now over what we've gone through? Got to get some water.
I just want to say that
Do you mind?
I just want to
We got, yeah.
that whole story you did in getting us to ready to buy that thing and then not having it is evil. I'm really disappointed, Esteban.
I'll buy you the book.
I wanted to meet that dude. Well, licking him off of him.
That's good.
Great stuff, bro.
Thank you very much. Please, here.
So there's a short version of the perfect webinar.
Yes.
And then there's the one in Funnel Scrubs.
Yeah, there's even like 5-minute
which-
versions.
Okay, which one is the best one to use?
Frankly, what we'll teach you to do, and the easiest way to do this, we always like people to go do the long version first, because it's kind of like training wheels.
Okay.
And you got to get good at kind of the sixth sense it takes on learning the feedback that markets give you and how to adjust it. And so we want you to learn that, because you guys know like Brandon, Kalen, Poulin, right? They're making like $1 million a month right now on a Facebook Live version of a webinar. It's like 20 minutes long instead of the hour and a half. The reason they can do that is because for like a straight year, they did the long version and tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it. The funny thing, social media will either accelerate you or it will destroy you, but it will do either at a really fast pace because there's so much exposure. So you got to get great first. So we'll have you do the folding.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please.
Do you do any split testing of your webinars to say, you know, after I get done with this, I use this webinar and then I use it? Do you ever split test them to see which one is doing best? And second question, do you call it a master class, a presentation, or a webinar? What's the big magic word you use?
It depends on the industry. So I'll answer that second one first. Well, first of all, split testing, of course. But we do it at a macro level always first. You know what I mean? We don't, when we like Expert Secrets Book Funnel, when we launched this thing, OTO2 was sucking it up, right? The second upsell in there was sucking it up, and we're like, why? It was so cool. For some reason, it wasn't working. What we didn't do was go in and change the button color, right? Something was wrong with the offer itself. We take, on a split testing, it's big macro level changes first. Take out that entire thing inside the stack slide. That one product in the stack slide, let's plug in a whole brand new one, a whole new page, and see how it converts. So we do very macro level testing. But we really don't even get to that until we get to like launch phase and
cool.
Anyway, and then second question was about the
presentation master class.
Yeah,
what's
it kind
the
of
word
depends.
that you guys use?
Kind of depends on the market itself. Some people have no idea what a webinar is, so we'll say web class, you know, or instead of master class, we'll say things like, we just match it to what they've been used to. And what's kind of cool is like in your funnel hacking section, when you're going through to the red ocean, you'll see a lot of the vernacular they're using.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll do just these two right here, and then we'll keep going. Sound good? Cool.
Hi, Stephen.
What's up?
I'm a little bit stuck in what you said about creating the bonuses, because you've got your core product, and then you create the bonuses after that.
Yeah.
How do you, I can't get my head around how I'm going to create these bonuses.
Well, mine weren't even made when I started selling, but I needed to make sure the idea of them was sexy. You know what I mean? So what I do then is instead, if you're doing like I love info products, I take a whole bunch of work up front, but then in the future, like it's super simple. They just keep selling. And my fulfillment's really simple. So all the work is in the front. As opposed to other things where the work's in the back after you collect the money, right? That's why I choose the info side. But one of the ways I do it is, actually we're gonna get to that shortly here. The full rollout strategy. Yeah.
Hey, Stephen. So my question is, you talk a lot about, getting over the fear of doing a webinar. Cool. Yeah. But what about the fear of, because you guys always try to over-deliver and you do a great job at that. Thanks. But what if it doesn't work?
It won't the first time, plan on it.
No, what if it doesn't work? What if the client comes back, let's say you sign up 10 people and 9 of them come back and say, it didn't work.
You talking about what you were promising?
Like what you're promising, where you're trying to get them?
That is like the most beautiful position ever to be in. Refund their money and ask them why. And dive deep with them. So that's actually.
That's okay.
Yeah, totally.
That's not.
Yeah, I definitely did that. For the first while, I plan on my refunds being slightly high because I'm trying to put together the match between the sales message and the offer pieces and the way I delivered it. And maybe it's just the headline was misleading and they thought they were getting something else and I thought they would, And so it's very fluid at the beginning. Yeah, and we just plan on it always failing. Usually it's the third relaunch that we actually get them working really well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah, pretty much every funnel. The actual original 2 Comma Club funnel that we put up, did you guys see this, the 7-day launch that we did? You guys remember that? It was called Expert Secrets Masterclass. It was 3 days of Russell teaching live on our little stage. You guys remember that? So that was selling the original product, right? It was selling the original product, and what was fascinating about it is we realized as soon as we opened cart, like 12 hours in, we're like, crap, like not that many sales came in. We're talking like a dozen. We're like, oh my gosh, 2,600 people are watching, only 12 bought? We're like, oh my gosh. We got to do a radical shift of this offer. They're getting sold, right? But there's not enough logical reasons to start now. There's not enough logical reasons, right? There's not enough things inside the stack, and so we shifted out a whole bunch of stuff and put it back in. We changed instead of this big lump sum up front, we put it to a payment plan strategy, and then boom, it's like $1 million in 3 weeks. Okay, it's you just totally plan on that. What's fun about it is the market will tell you what to do to how to adjust. But what will destroy an entrepreneur is if they think that like that's not normal. That's totally normal. And anybody who says otherwise, they're completely faking it. Yep.
Hi there. On webinars specifically, like what indicators are you using? It is all the comments and surveys afterward, or like where are you getting all this feedback?
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of Secrets Masterclass that'll walk you through that. But like we will go through and I typically don't look at the comments that much during the whole webinar because it throws off my state. So we're like, does that make sense? We just wait for a little while. Oh, ha, 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 John said, yeah. We'll just kind of make it up. You guys are going to get all that training on the isms and pulling it off. But we will look specifically at registration. So how many people saw the ad? How many people registered? How many people showed up? And then what we like to do is on the webinar, I like for replays, it's really nice, or other softwares, they'll let you see the drop-off points when people start leaving. And I look to see around where I was in the webinar and be like, oh man, Secret 3 sucks. Like, okay, that must be it. It's not sexy enough. Or they thought it was gonna be something else. But honestly, take all of the feedback that you guys get, which usually comes in terms of complaints and refunds for a while, okay? And just start sorting them, write them down. Okay, this person refunded because of X, Y, and Z, right? This person refunded because of this, and this, right? And what you're doing is you're taking a step back and you're asking yourself, is the market trying to tell me to shift my current product? Or are they telling me of a future product they want from me, right? We made funnel scripts because it was a product by way of feedback from the market, right? We didn't start with that until Funnel Hacks was just rocking it though. And that's why Russell did Funnel Hacks like 80 times or something like that before he actually automated it. He did it live because he was testing and feeling it, seeing refunds and seeing this back and forth. So, that's one of the biggest metrics. I look forward to the refunds at the beginning, funny enough.
Thanks.
All right, guys, let's keep going here.
I got one more.
Oh, my Lanta.
One last one.
Hey, how's it going? This is awesome, by the way. I have a lot of perfect webinar clients. I run an agency, so I have a lot of perfect webinar clients. Sweet. They all have different ad spend budgets for their webinars. So do you go based off of the ad spend budget that you put towards the webinar itself, or how many registrants?
Say that again a different way.
So again, different clients have different ad spend budgets, right? And so they want to know should we be putting $1,000 a week towards the webinar itself, or should we be putting, or just however much it takes to get 100 registrants signed up?
As long as I'm putting $1 in and I'm getting $1.10 back, I'm telling my ads person to scale like crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a bunch of traffic strategy you guys are gonna learn tomorrow. And I hate paid ads. Meaning they're great and we do them, I never learn them. I don't want to know that stuff. I don't ever. And so all my traffic generation strategy comes from me doing Dream 100 stuff and publishing. Those are the two ways I want to become an expert in for traffic. And we did well over 6 figures with no ad spend at the beginning, just off of those two strategies in a month. It was real fast. And then I go and I outsource the ads part because I don't want to learn it. It changes too much, So yeah, we'll learn more about that tomorrow. Sweet. You guys feeling good? Yeah. Woo! Love it. My My voice is going a little, sorry. More yelling in this one. All right. Yeah. All right, let's go on to funnel pages. Okay. I'm a kid at heart. I will be forever. Anyway, all right, funnel pages. So now that we've created the script, then it's time to go in and actually start focusing on the funnel pages themselves, right? The actual pages, the actual funnel. Isn't that interesting? Most people log in and they go to that step and skip everything else and like, ClickFunnels is a scam, right? You're like, no, you suck at selling, right? And so this is why we have you guys go through all this at the beginning. Go through all this stuff with, you see why I'm not in customer service. Like, how do I add a funnel? Click add funnel. It's big, it's orange in the big corner. Did you Google it? Anyway. So now we're gonna go into funnel pages. Is Allison Prince here? Yeah, she came back. All right. So Allison is in the first FAT event. That's an arrow pointing to where she's sitting. And she was sitting there, and she went, and I love your story. She came to the FAT event, and how much did you do on your first webinar right after this, the FAT event? 26 grand. I thought it was only 19. What? That's awesome. You passed out? Are you serious? Oh. So used to this lion thing now. That's awesome though. Okay, cool. So remember, so Allison came and I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 months afterwards, Allison sent me a message and she said, please help, my funnel's all over the place, remember? And I was speaking somewhere. I was flying through Vegas and I had this like inordinately long layover. It was like 6 hours long. And I was like, and I logged in, to Allison's stuff, and I start seeing, and please know I'm not making fun of you, but that made the basis for a lot of 2 Comma Club training. But it was every single live, I mean that in a good way. She's extremely rich, and everyone should learn from her. Okay? But I logged in, and every single week, right, they were cloning a new funnel. A new live webinar funnel every week. Every single week was a brand new product. Every single time somebody bought was a new email list. I mean, it was all over the place. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know that this is what people were perceiving from what I was telling them to do in the FAT event. Right, to do a live webinar every single week is not to create a new funnel page-wise every week. That's so much overhead time-wise on you. And so what I did is I started going through and I was like, how can I fix this? And I remember in this super cliche way, I drew out on a napkin all of these, right? All the possibilities that somebody goes through as a customer when they're going to be buying from you. Oh, I could see the webinar, and I could register and not show up. Right? I could register, show up, and buy. What does that sequence look like? I could register, show up, not buy, and buy later. What does that sequence look like? I could register, show up, watch the whole thing, and not buy. What does that say, right? And I started looking through all these contingencies, and I put together this incredibly, I don't want you guys to stress out about when you see it, okay? But you guys are gonna learn how to do that. And what's cool about it, so this is what I created, and we put it in there, and how easy has it been on you? That's awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. So it simplifies like crazy. And what this will let you do is, it's a live webinar funnel, but literally everything is automated except for 3 things that you have to do each week, and that's it. We're trying to like change dates, stuff like that. So you guys are gonna learn how to do this, and what I don't want you to do is look at this and be like, I have to be a funnel builder to pull this off. Steven's a psycho, look at that. Like, there's no way I wanna learn this. Like, that's fine. All right, send it to your funnel person. All of this is pre-built. If you go to the bonus section, there's a bonus section in Secrets Masterclass, which is where I built all the content to help correct the things I saw for the way you guys were using the stuff, right? So there's a whole section there on live funnel builds. It's 5 hours long, okay? But you're gonna watch me build and the psychology behind every single page live in front of a live audience. And there are questions coming back and forth. And then the pre-built share funnel is already in there. The pre-built email sequences, the pre-built action funnels, the pre-built everything's already in there for you. You literally have to go in and just change out your stuff, okay? So that's already in there. Same with the script. Anyway, this is one of my biggest gifts to you. I spend a lot of time on. Thank you very much. It's terrific. Thank you very much. Thank you. So anyways, What this will let you do, though, is you don't have to become a funnel psycho in order to pull this stuff off. You know what I mean? So I went there to the crazy zone, built it for you. It's already done. Just pull it into your account. Okay. So can I give some funnel building advice? I built a few. Nice. Okay. Don't get tunnel vision. It's called the tunnel funnel. The funnel tunnel. Okay. Meaning, you know there's 1 or 2 pages on that entire funnel. You're like, I really don't want to build this. I'll just kind of wait. And you sidestep around it. And then you like hyper focus on this thing. Okay, done is the new perfect. Just get it done and get it out the door. Okay, start selling the thing. Okay. Keep the design very simple, exactly what Julie is talking about. Grab the designs that are already done. As much as we all wish it did, design really does not matter that much, okay? It doesn't. Look at Frank Kern's funnels. He's got a white background with a headline, a video, and a button. That's literally it, and the dude makes a lot of money, okay? Design, it's amazing. I'm not saying that it's not important, but especially in the beginnings, design has nothing to do with the sale, right? There's no design in what I just did with the book, okay? For follow-up sales, it starts to have an effect, okay, for follow-up stuff and in creating the brand, okay, but keep the design crazy simple, or just literally take the templates that were provided for you and just get it done. Oh, there we go. All you're trying to do is you're trying to test the copy and the offer. That's it. And if you're like, oh my gosh, right, how do I make sure that this is working? How do I make sure this is not working back and forth? Just start testing stuff back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that'll help you dramatically increase the speed. It's the exact reason why I don't care that half my funnel is broken. The actual pages, I know it's not working. I don't care yet. It's not the phase that I'm in. I'm just keeping crazy focused on that one thing. And it's working now, finally at the funnel place. And I can do all the crazy bells and whistles now, everything that's nuts. The problem is that ClickFunnels subscribers really want features. Features aren't what makes their stuff sell, though, usually, right? So we make all the features, but don't get like sidetracked by them. This milestone itself is completed, obviously, when you have creating a waiting list page, when you invite people to the waiting list from your publication. I had over 400 people on a waiting list before I ever launched the thing, which was so crazy. It means I spent nothing on ads. I literally just released it to the waiting list. It was like 30 grand in a day. I was like, wow, it's nuts, right? Took all that money, reinvested back into ads. So none of my own money's ever gone into my stuff ever. And that's why I say let's do this strategy so much. You're gonna build a live webinar funnel or other, write the email sequences, create the membership site, if it's applicable, if you're using one. Again, an entirely awesome live funnel build for a members area is already in there for you, and the share funnel and all that stuff. So if you want to use it for affiliate stuff, you want to use it for your own course content, you want to use it for us, something else, like just lead gen, it's already in there for you. You can just download it and grab it, like, along with all the little cool bells and whistles I like to toss in them. Stuff's already in the pathway there. And then what we'll do is we're going to actually launch the webinar itself. So this finishes this section, right, of actually building out the actual pages themselves. Now let's actually launch the thing. And what I want to do is, so there was a FAD event that I was teaching, and it was one of the final ones. It's probably like 6 months ago. Oh wait, it's June, almost. About 9 months ago, and I went and it was a good FAD event. There was a lot of stuff I said. The problem was that they started getting that glazed look. That's why we did the ho-ho baby thing. You guys started getting that, right? They started getting that glazed look. Holy crap, Steven, you're saying a lot of stuff. Barfing on me. Oh my gosh, look at all the stuff I gotta go do. I believe I need to do all these things. We don't want you to feel that. And so what I did is we put together a launch strategy. You guys could all have your webinar out the door in 4 days from now. You guys wanna see it? Yeah. It's sick. Okay, it's really cool. Yeah. Okay, so here's the simple launch. So I felt that I needed to leave my full-time employment over there, right? And I was very sad by that. Most people leave their jobs because they don't like it. That's not at all the reason why I did, right? I just have this itch. I really wanted to be on my own. And here's how I did it. I have 2 kids. I have a pregnant wife. I have house payments. How on earth and why would I ever do this? What's the security that gave me, or what gave me the security in order to do that and not be crazy? This is how. So for about 3 months beforehand, I started publishing stories. I put out 50 episodes before the product was even launched. There was another at least 20 before the thing was even built. And what I did was, literally January 31st, I left. December 31st. January 1st, I was like, crap. hit the fan, right? Oh my gosh. I'm on my own. How am I going to do it? This is all very planned, so it's not like I just thought of this. Okay, but what I did is on January 1st, on a Monday, I built the registration page and I immediately started promoting it. What? There was no funnel. There was no offer. I didn't even know what it was going to be. There was no sales script. I hadn't done anything. I hadn't even started the actual script, like the actual PowerPoint slides and all that. That's crazy. You loco, Steven? Right? That's why I did it. Anyway, I did it because I needed to have that kind of pressure in a good way. This is not all stress is bad, right? I needed good stress. So I was like, hey, come join this webinar. That meant I had to put together my headlines. I had to put together the 3 secrets. That's it, right? Registration process, registration page, thank you page, and then the connection into Zoom. I was using Zoom through Zapier. And then I started promoting it. I was like, holy crap, look at all these people jumping on. This is crazy. And I went and I told my audience, come on over, join, get over here. Am I going to do this webinar? It's crazy. And people had for months scheduled out this date. They knew I was launching it. And people were taking off work. And people were staying up all hours of the night on the other side of the world, excited to see it. I didn't even know what it was going to be yet. I was just testing the message. There's no bait and switch here. I want to be very clear about that, okay? I had an idea of what the offer was going to be. None of it was created or even drafted, okay? I needed to, again, keep a toe in the red ocean and put a toe in the blue ocean, though, at the same time. And I needed to be built with the customer. So I built the registration page on the 2nd, right, Tuesday. I was like, man, I should probably build the script. I did not even get near close to done on it, right? It's the initial brain jog. You guys remember that template I gave, right? It's false beliefs. Then the next one, old story, new story, headline, products. That's mostly what I did that day. Just thinking through it. Okay. I've been publishing to them, which is great. I've had a lot of interaction because I've been publishing. These are the people that are actually going to be purchasing. So what are their false beliefs? Vehicle, internal, external. Okay, cool. Old stories. I've heard them say those. Oh, crazy. News story. I got a story about this. Story about this. Product. Crazy. They literally created the product that I was going to sell to them. The next day on the 3rd, I actually built the order form in the members area. It's like, I should probably make a way in order for people to actually give me cash. And the first parts of the members area. So all I did is just built and designed the members area, simply, okay? And I knew what the 6 topics were gonna be because I had been asking them what they were struggling with. Any of you guys been on that webinar? Just curious, what's up? How's it going? That's cool, right? And so what I did is, I went and I built those 6 modules out. Meaning, I literally just put the title of the module. They told me, oh, we're all struggling with this, and this. So I took the top 6. Those are now my 6 modules. They told them to me. Then I put another ask campaign underneath each one of them. Anyways, you guys are going to walk through all this stuff. I'll show you exactly how to do it. I promoted again. Like, crap, the script's not even done. Literally 2 minutes before the webinar started, over 200 people registered. 2 minutes beforehand, I finished the slides. It was so stressful, oh my gosh. Right? But I did the webinar. And it's like, bam, 19 grand. And then another 17 immediately after that in the replay. It's like, that's crazy. I made 18 grand our first year of marriage. This is real money, right? It's like, that's crazy. And then on the 5th, I actually did the follow-up sequence. A lot more cash came in there. On the 6th, I started building out module 1. And just, this is the way I roll it out, though. I tell them, you guys were sold when I was done with the story, right? I hadn't even got into the actual things I was going to give you with that book. You're sold on the story. So what I told them on the webinar was like, hey, look, this thing's not built yet. And they're like, crap. But early bird pricing, go ahead and jump on in, and you will be very much a part of the creation of this. So if there's some aspect about this where you're like, oh my gosh, module 1, Steven, I'm glad this is the topic. I really struggle with X, Y, and Z. I'm like, oh, thanks for telling me. They're making my table of contents for me. And so I just told them, look, here's the release schedule. Go ahead and jump in now. In 2 weeks, module 1 goes live. Early bird pricing. Right? Then a week in, it launches in a week. Early bird pricing, go ahead and jump now. Module 1 goes out in 1 week. Right? Then the day of, module 1's launching today. Extending early bird pricing. Go ahead and jump now. $9.97 always. Right? A week later, we're extending early bird pricing. You don't have to wait. Module 1 went out last week. You don't have to wait like the rest of those people. You guys can go ahead and jump on in. And in module 2, it's going to come out in 1 week. But go ahead and please tell me what you're struggling with what the topic is for module 2, so I can make sure to include it in those things. Right? Very clear about this. They knew it was not ready. Okay? I'm telling you this because you saw the power. I mean, I think I sold 9 of those copies of the book, right? For something that I don't even know what it is. What I'm telling you guys is very powerful. Please be ethical with it. And so, but it's super, super key to build the first round through with the actual customer, or at least a beta group. One of the ways I did is I grabbed a beta group also, and I just started tossing the concepts at them, seeing the way they reacted to them. That's why, the other reason I was able to go so fast on it. Then anyways, I moved forward on it. Okay, what I did not do. Okay, what I did not do. Build another funnel. I really wanted to. Started getting the itch and the twitch. Right? I had just finished building 500 funnels for Russell. It's a lot of funnels. It's like I haven't built anything forever. It's been 3 days. Right? So I did not build another funnel. You will all want to, and it's totally fine. I totally get it. It really just takes one. Okay? C number 1. Okay. I didn't build another funnel. I want to so bad. I still want to so bad. I write them all down. They go in the place in my Trello, which I'm using now, which the future actions, all the category, like, yeah, this is gonna be a great idea. My capture boards, I'm dropping those things in there because I know I'll get to them at some point, but it's not ready yet. The core of my business, just about there, right? Tons of cash, just auto dropping in, which is awesome. And the closer I get, the faster it comes. I'm like, holy crap, turn up the ad spend. Let's do more JVs. Let's get the Dream 100 going, right? Anyway, what I did do was I studied the numbers, okay? I look at my webinars in any funnel, in 3 phases. Pre-pitch, okay, everything that goes on before you actually ask for the cash. For in this case, it's the registration page, right? And the indoctrination pages. If this is Greek, you guys will figure this out. All that stuff's in Secrets Masterclass. I'm trying to give a brief overview so you know what to expect when you get in there, so it's not Latin, okay? Then pitch. Meaning all the stuff I did on the webinar itself. What's up with my script? Maybe I should use this instead. Maybe I should do this over here, right? What's the actual pitch itself? I look heavily on that itself. And then number 3, post-pitch, obviously, which is in my replay sequence, right? All the things that I'm saying inside of the replay. The cart close strategy. You know, a lot of really cool bells and whistles come into play on this phase. Okay, but those are the three areas that I'm studying, and I studied the numbers like crazy. I also documented my journey, successes and hiccups. It's so important. You are real. You are vulnerable. You are transparent. You're an actual human being when you do the vulnerability part. Don't be afraid of sharing your vulnerability, of your weaknesses. Okay? I'm not saying, understand this. On offers, we're competing on value, right? New opportunity. It's never done before. Your old vehicle sucks, right? Your attractive character is not built that way. On the attractive character, over on this side, totally different, you're competing on your differences, right? Someone will always be better, faster, stronger, better speaking. I don't know about better looking, but they're always gonna be better than I am in some category. So on your own attractive character, and this is one of the biggest reasons I've noticed that people don't publish. Is they're like, someone's so much better than I am. Duh, okay? But you don't compete on strengths. You compete on differences when you're attractive character. So I know I'm a little hyper. I know I make all sorts of weird noises. Last week, some lady she literally asked if there was an app coming out with all the little sound effects I make. I was like, no, I guess I'm not offended. She was awesome. And I was like, wow, it's funny. Got very self-aware of how many little things I do, right? But I don't hold them back. Right? How many of you guys follow me on Instagram? What do I do every Monday morning? I yell at you. Wow, yeah! It's Monday, baby! Wow! It's become a thing. And people yell back now. Funny enough, your little tiny things that are just about you is actually what they want to see. It is what makes you unique. It is what gives you a superpower. I have friends that are dyslexic. That's not a that is a superpower. Right? All the things, all I'm saying is like, I'm very passionate about this topic because from a shy kid who couldn't do anything that I'm doing right now, not long ago, right? Everything inside of you that says, well, I'm not good enough, that's internal insecurity. It's your own false belief about this process we're trying to bring you through. Everything that says, well, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not an attractive character yet. Well, like, duh, you haven't done it yet, right? I'm not great at this. I'm not great at this. I don't know how to speak. I don't know, like slap that crap. both hands, both ways. And know that when you take those things and you actually put them inside of the way you publish, inside of your attractive character, the way you lace them, it's like, I'm a goofball in my own webinar. I don't care. Other people I get on their webinars and they're like super, I can tell they're wearing a suit and tie, no one can see them. Great. That's not my thing, right? And that's fine. They're doing their own attractive character and they bring people in their own way right there. I repel as many people as I attract. Great. If I'm not, no one will follow me. I must, and it is your own personal thing inside of you that lets you do that and becomes an attractive character in front of people. So if you are scared of talking, say it. If you're so nervous about building funnels, let them know. You know what's funny about that? It's this ridiculous, again, massive safety net for your funnel, right? When crap hits the fan, sometimes at ClickFunnels, or when something goes bad, or a little glitch happens, or something drops out, some people get really mad, but why is everyone not grabbing pitchforks and just running at Russell? Because he is transparent, right? All his vulnerabilities are in front. We know he's real. I know exactly what I'm getting from him. And part of the reason, like, some people are trying to act too perfect, all right? Like, oh, no, and if suit and tie is your thing, that's awesome. Then do it and rock it out. But this game for you, attractive character-wise, I was not planning on talking about any of this, is all about you understanding, because it's part of your mass movement, right? The attractive character, which you learned in Module 1 in Secrets Masterclass. You have got to understand that in order to become an attractive character, like, you got to start talking more, be more vulnerable about what it is that you do. And it turns out it's completely the opposite of what is normal, like what you think. It's what you think is obvious. It's actually the thing that gives you fuel and momentum, all right? Talking about my huge eyeballs. I'm always talking about the music I'm listening to. Right? I'm always like, I don't care. I'm just me louder. That's the huge key to publishing and becoming an attractive character. Just be you, louder. And then you're not competing on strengths. And then you can be your own thing. And people will follow you and they'll rally behind it and be like, this guy's awesome, oh my gosh. And they'll celebrate the weird little quirks about you. You don't have to hide who you are. I love this game because it is like the easiest personal development course, coolest, most amazing, most efficient one ever. Okay? Very passionate about the game that we get to play here. Thank you. So document both the successes and the hiccups along the way. Funny enough, you'll get so much more engagement out of the hiccups, and they'll love you more for it too. I'm not telling, nothing has to be like a sob story all the time. I suck all the time. I'm terrible. Like, that's not probably the right way to do it either. But don't hide who you are. All right, this milestone itself is completed when you've published every day leading up to the launch. Easiest way to grab a ton of cash. There's no ad spend behind my podcast at the time that I was doing with that. It was just all, not that I'm saying that I just didn't want to put any of my own money into it. So I didn't. And the money that came in, then I reinvested that back into ads. So build the pressure, right? Follow the launch schedule. Or if you need to abridge it, that's fine. All right, live Q&A to adjust your message and offer and your funnel itself. I love to do live Q&As with the people who just purchased or were about to and didn't. And they tell me how to change. They tell me how to sell them better next time. Okay. Follow the pathway, and anyway, the actual funnel is launched at that time. Yeah? Boom. Last section. Ready to rock? All righty. My voice is giving out. A lot more yelling in this one. All right, so I'm going to talk about this book launch real quick. Again, just one second here. Right, we went out and I was with John and Russell and Brandon Fisher and a few other guys, and we flew out to Utah to work with the Harmon brothers for the Viral Video launch. Did you guys see that? Yeah. That Viral Video launch with the prospector, the gold digger. This is the back of the cabin we were staying at, and it was up there where we realized the OTO2 was sucking it up, and we're like, crap, we didn't wait. It was like the second day, something like that. It was of the launch. We had just put this thing out. We started building this funnel 2 days before the launch, so it was so stressful. But we went and, we saw it. And we're like, oh my gosh, let's just fast react. Let's fast implement. Let's get it out the door. 2 days later, we're like, we got to change this thing. And so we literally went out into the back patio right there, grabbed a camera, and we recorded a brand new complete offer or product to plug into the offer. This is like adult Legos, okay? You're gonna grab and you're gonna pull out all the stuff that looks like it's crappy and just plug it back in and see if it works well, okay? I imagine other people have done this as well. I was that kid in elementary school. I love when it rains. We would go to these little hills on the side. It was like pure dirt. And we would go, this is a true story, right? And I would dig my heels into the water or into the dirt and make these cool trails. And tons of us would do it. I don't know why. We all thought it was fascinating. And Then what we would do is we would steer the water coming off the roofs over towards the beginning of that and watch the water fill everything. It's really awesome. And then when we're like, hey, let's make this cool thing over here. I mean, I was talking in like second grade. Yeah, super young. And we'd put like little clumps of dirt to dam up the water. And then we'd go build out this cool thing again here, this really neat design, and then we'd release it again and watch the water come through everything else. Okay? With funnel audibles, right, that's the section here. With funnel audibles, one of the things that destroys the way someone sees their numbers is they start at the back of the funnel, right? What's the problem with starting with tweaking at the back of the funnel? It's probably plugged up earlier on. So you're making adjustments based off of not amazing data, right? Instead, start at the beginning. Start walking through the way. I got to help you guys understand the numbers. I can do funnel audibles for you guys, but I want you to see the numbers and see what I'm seeing so you can do it on your own too, okay? Start at the beginning of the funnel. Trail. Where is the first clump of dirt? Oh crap, numbers look like they suck there. Let me take that piece out, plug in something new. Did the market like it? That's all this game is. Market like it? Sweet, they did. Oh, look at the water, the sales, the customers coming down. Oh my gosh, clump of dirt. This looks like garbage. Why are the numbers so bad? Right? And with speed, you're just plugging out that piece of the funnel, plugging it in, back in, or the offer, or whatever. Plugging right back in and seeing if it flows. That's all the game is. That's how simple this game is. Okay? And so, does that make sense with the funnel audibles? So if you start at the back though, there might be like 3 or 4 other places that's plugged up and it's not the full stream coming in. Does that make sense? The analogy there? Cool. Okay, so with the audibles, what I'm trying to do, right, and what I was saying before too, is that most funnels fail round 1. Ours pretty much always did. I don't know that we ever really had a funnel that killed it. It was very seldom, even for when we were, anyway. What we're doing is we're trying to find the correct match between, hey, origin story. You know what, oh man, you know what, my origin story, I'm really killing the goose a little bit on secret number 2 here. You know, I should switch it over here. You know, I need to switch the stack on the products over here. You know, the headline, oh my gosh, headline looks like it sucks over here. These are your levers for the web, for all the funnels that you're putting out. False beliefs, right? Headlines, stories, offers. And that's all you're doing. And you're just trying to change and see what the correct combination between these things are. Man, maybe I chose the wrong false belief on vehicle. Look how that affected every other thing down the row. Remember that graph I write? So man, that's why the false beliefs are so important. We got to teach you how to find them, okay? It's like, oh man, I'm attacking the wrong false belief. I realized like 2 months into selling, we'd already done over 6 figures with my webinar. Secret number 3 for me was like crappy. It was the wrong secret. They're still buying because my stories were great, okay? But I went through and I went in and I started realizing, oh my gosh, my secret is completely wrong. And I started attacking a different belief. And everything started flowing better. And I was like, oh crap, how can that? Right, that's why we don't want you to automate too soon. You're gonna miss all that. So when audibles come in, understand first of all, if you have the freak out session, like I did, right? Opened up, tons of sales came back in. I turned ads on for the first time. When I turned ads on for the first time, we spent like $500 in ads and I only made like $2,000. And I voxed Russell. I should find the vox. I was like, Russell, I don't know if this is working. We're gonna die in a gutter. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This isn't gonna work anymore. And he sent me a message back and he goes, I'm Steven. I only 3 or 4x my money. And you can see Russell doing that, right? And he's like, dude, you're killing it, man. Wake up. And I was like, oh, that's right, sorry, man. Like, we get it when it's like this emotional roller coaster is all I'm saying. Like, we've all been through it. And so when you see this webinar or your funnel or whatever funnel you put out there, whatever product comes out, like, expect it to fail. It's gonna suck. Okay, put it out the door, understand, don't fall in love with the thing. Look at it and be like, man, it's always broken. Okay, and when it fails, don't fail with it. You know what I mean? Don't let your psyche just, that's part of the process. And then you come back and you're gonna be a good detective. Why didn't it work? What is the market trying to tell me it didn't like? That's it. Not even on your shoulders, which should be so liberating. It's not even on your shoulders, right? You don't fill your wallet, stop asking yourself. Go ask the market. And this is exactly what you're doing. So what I want to do real quick is I want to help you guys understand a little bit more of the numbers. And this is tiny. I'm so sorry I did not realize it. I took a screenshot of some of my stats from a webinar. I think this was the auto version, which things are starting to drop. But which means I'm getting fatigue. I'm getting offer fatigue, so I gotta go switch ads and stuff. You guys are gonna learn all this, okay? What on these numbers look weird to you? What's sticking out like, Steven, that sucks? Anything poking out there? What's that? I didn't hear it. Some zeros. Yeah, what are they next to? Indoctrination. Wait a second. Let's look at these numbers from the top down. Registration page, 34% registration. That's not bad. For auto, I'd like to be a little higher. It was at 50 and started dropping down. That means my ads are probably not hitting new people anymore. So I'm gonna go find new pools of people. Okay, 985 people registered though. 832 saw it. Wow, that's awesome. Huge show up rate. 832. Replay, not that many. When I say, hey, there's a replay with scroll bars, way higher people showed up. Isn't that interesting? Like twice the amount. You see that? 88 to 167. That's crazy. Huge lift there. Well, I'm gonna keep doing that. Sweet, the market told me I liked it. Right? Order page. All right, 44 there. And then I keep dripping down. Look over on the right. 900 people, almost 1,000 people registered. How many people are looking at my indoctrination series? What's wrong with it? Like, what? Did I not press live in Actionetics? Like, something is seriously jacked up with that, right? And I was like, what's happening? They don't like my indoctrination series, right? Market just told me what to go and look at. Does that make sense? So don't tie your emotions so strongly to this thing. I know we all want it real bad. We all have different histories, which probably are actually very similar, right? Don't let yourself drown inside these numbers. Instead, use them as a guide for what it is the market's telling you to go to adjust and shift. Okay. All right, this milestone is completed when you've sent $1,000 of traffic to whatever funnel you've launched, or you've launched to your following. Okay, which will give you a nest egg of cash for ads, which is awesome. You're gonna collect your funnel stats. I'm gonna talk about the changes you wanna make on your publication, right? Super powerful, right? On my, did you guys hear the episode I did about the deep dive on webinar stats recently? And of somebody from Sales Funnel Radio. I don't know if you guys heard that. I did a deep dive on the most profitable webinar strategy follow-up sequences. I don't know if you guys saw that. Anyway, it was wicked awesome. But I went through and I did, right, going through and being really open about the things that you're messing up on and why you're gonna adjust them. Crazy lift in your conversions. Really interesting, part of that vulnerability I was talking about. Then when you attempt, I don't think it's about right, to read the numbers and make adjustments on your own, please do that. You'll flex muscles that you probably haven't before, and then you're gonna come over and fill out an Audible form, okay? All the steps to actually completing and getting it done are in the pathway and in Trello for you. My friends, that's all I have. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. We got a few minutes for questions here if anyone wants them. We're gonna do a full, huge Q&A tomorrow, but we got like 10 minutes. If you got any burning questions now you wanna hit. Yeah.
You talk about publications. Give us examples of publications and why did you pick a podcast versus others?
I chose a podcast because for me it's the modality I'm not gonna write a blog. I'm not gonna Facebook Live every single day. You know, I like to do that stuff. I'm not afraid of that part of it. But I chose stuff that I know that I like to do. I look like a goofball when I'm doing my podcast. I will literally close my eyes and act like I'm on stage teaching, right? A little weird if I do that on Facebook Live, right? So I also typically find, and this is for me and who I'm trying to sell, people listen to podcasts. Do you guys ever listen to a podcast and just like sit there and listen? See, that's the first yes I've ever gotten. Most people, right? You're doing something else, right? Yes, I'm in the car. Yes, people who listen to podcasts typically are people who are doing something else also. They're usually active individuals and they're getting crap done in their life. If I'm going to YouTube to watch something, I'm usually wanting to, it's either like a search engine kind of inquiry or I want to be distracted, right? So like, it's a great place to put content, but different intent. You got to match the content to the context of the platform, right? Not everyone goes to Facebook because they want to learn something. Most of the time they want to get distracted. So I chose podcasts because usually people who consume podcasts are buyers. That's usually what we found.
And if you do FaceTime Live, do you do it on your personal page, on your personal profile, or on your fan page?
That is definitely a John and Julie question. I don't know. Yeah. exposes how much I don't do on those, huh? I really do outsource my Facebook stuff. I don't want to learn it.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Samir. Great stuff, by the way.
Thank you.
So, anyways, you said that you outsource traffic, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've done traffic, wasted a whole ton of money in it, seen what John Parks has to say, tried it out, wasted a whole bunch of more money into it. So I'm guessing, obviously, my funnel's not doing what it's supposed to, but in the traffic sense, to who do you outsource your traffic? Do you get a virtual assistant and teach them and go through the whatever indoctrination? Or do you hire someone that already knows how to do it? What you do?
I only want to work with somebody, especially at the beginning, it is imperative that you work with rock stars, right? And so there's a whole section in Secrets Masterclass about how and when I outsource and the strategy I used. But basically, I want to find someone as fanatic over Facebook ads or whatever ad source over their stuff. I want to find somebody who's just as like ridiculous about their stuff as I am about funnels. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to climb. I've never seen anyone climb 2 peaks at the same time. I used to backpack a lot. I've never climbed 2 peaks at the same time. For me, and I know traffic is the beginning of the funnel, but I want to focus and get crazy at one thing. And so, because there's really time in life to do just that, one, right? So what is the one thing I want to become amazing at? I'll outsource the rest of it. So what I did is I found these little communities of people who are just like fanatic over Facebook ads. I went to a bunch of other people who sell Facebook ad courses, and I went to their communities. And I started dropping inside of their stuff, hey, what's up? Looking for someone to drive my ads. I want this to be a long-term relationship. If you really, really, really think you're the person, just send me like a 4-minute video on why I should choose you. Ooh, baby. Isn't that funny? Some people are like, I think you should just choose me. And I'm like, you can't follow instructions. Get out of here, right? Other people are like, how do I upload a video? I'm like, are you kidding me? No. You're not the person, right? Then there were these other people, though. Yeah, they weeded themselves out like crazy. And then what I did is I narrowed it down to the 3 people. Personality had as much to do with it as their skill. And could I work with them? And I'm a free market capitalist, baby, to the core. So I said, let's do a contest. Here's $500 each. Drive traffic to this page. May the best man win. You'll get the job. And it was a contest. And it was crazy what happened. Just because it was a contest, somebody dropped out. I was like, are you kidding? I'm competitive. Great, get out of here. Right? I don't want you. The other 2, I didn't even have to run the contest. By the way, this is how I choose all my VAs, whether it's for a video or a graphic or a t-shirt design, or I always run contests. Freelancer, it has an actual thing for contests, and it's great. That's how I do all my stuff now for all VAs. But out of the last two remaining people, one person was asking these questions like I would know what the heck he's talking about. It's like, well, do you want to do a lookalike audience off X, Y, and Z over here? What's the daily budget? What's your rank? I don't even know what the acronyms are. I really don't know Facebook ads. Still, 2 days ago, my ads person had to film a video of how to upload a custom audience. I don't know how. And so one guy, though, he just kept asking all these questions. I was like, you're supposed to know this. That's why I'm hiring you. Stop asking me. Tell me what you need. And he wouldn't just freaking self-solve anything. I was like, this last person's amazing. She's incredible. She's who I use, and I've used ever since. That was like a year and a half ago. That's so much better way to find a VA or an assistant or outsource stuff because you can waste tons of money.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Yeah, great. Please.
Hi, my name is Dan from Canada. Anyway, could you explain kind of your podcast and how you put it out there? Maybe I know that there's different programs and different ways to put it out, and then iTunes and different things. What's your?
That'll be deeply in Secrets Masterclass. That's the new module that's coming out, by the way. Russell just gave me the thumbs up on it, so I'm going to go record a deep dive on it for multiple strategies. What's that? Soon. But part of that will be choosing your syndication method. When I was just starting out and I didn't have tons of cash, I was using Libsyn. Because I would push publish and it would go to 18 platforms, not just iTunes. It was super cool. But that'll all be in there in depth. There's lots of methods. Yeah. Hey.
Hey. I'm a little stuck on the documenting your journey piece.
Yeah.
So it felt like when you were explaining it that'd work great as a marketer teaching marketing, you're sort of documenting journey as you go. Does it apply if you're teaching something totally unrelated, and how would you do that?
What do you sell?
I teach stock trading.
Stock training, okay.
Stock trading.
Stock training, that's very different. Okay. Some people feel like those people are dogs. Just kidding. Stock trading. So what I do is at the end of every week, usually on Saturday night or Monday morning, all I do is I have a part of my whiteboard, and it's literally just a bunch of lessons I learned from the last week. And I just sit there and I'm like, what did I learn last week? Like, what was the crazy followable thing that I learned? Oh man, you know what's interesting is when I learned like this upsell worked way better than this. What's funny is that if I just come out and I tell you guys all the stuff that I just did and just tell you the nugget, nobody remembers the nugget. But everyone's like, just give me the nugget, just go straight to the core. Steven, just tell me the list. If I don't wrap it in a story, no one remembers the nugget. Isn't that funny? It has to have an emotional trigger inside of them. And so what I do is I first list out all the lessons, and then I think of a crazy cool story. I literally use the Epiphany Bridge script, page 114, Expert Secrets. And what I do is for a long time before I had it memorized, I would write it out on a legal pad. And I would tell the sweet story, and then I would tell the sweet nugget. And so it's usually like 70, 80% story, 20, 30% nugget. And that format, they remember it. And they're like, that was an amazing episode. But I've done episodes in the past where it's just the nugget and no one remembers it or applies it. It's really interesting.
Okay, so documenting the journey is, so
like, what are you doing?
In my investing, I'm getting better all the time, working on stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sharing that while I'm building my stuff to sell, to building the webinar process.
I was sitting in this event in Dallas. We were sitting at dinner, and this guy asked me, he goes, dude, what are you going to do on episode, because I'm like episode like what, almost 150 on Sales Funnel Radio, which is my baby, I love that thing, right? He's like, what are you going to do when you hit like 230? He's like, what are you going to talk about then? It's like, well, I don't know. I don't care till I do 229, you know? And he goes, he said, well, like, aren't you afraid you're going to run out of stuff to say? And I sat there for a second, and I was like, what is this guy believing, right? What's his false belief about this vehicle? That's what I was asking myself, because I'm a geek and I do that, right? And I was like, what is he going to do? Or what's this false belief? And I was like, you believe I already know what I'm going to talk about. Huh. You believe that I already know all the stuff from those episodes. It's like, dude, you're learning with me. Isn't that interesting? I said, come with me, shoulder by shoulder. I learned this. That was great. That sucked. Don't do it. Here, this, right? And what's so fascinating is like, it's almost like this audio journal, but you're doing it in a way where it's Epiphany Bridge script with a whole bunch of nuggets that people feel like they should pay for to get. And then so when you do drop a link, there's so much reciprocity built up in them. Just tons of sales drop in. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. Hey guys, I think we're done. Yeah? Brent? Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.